I think we're live.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
everybody.
are.
Welcome to Movie Time Minute. This is our weekly news segment, Movie News Minute, and also our open spoiler discussion for the Marvels is happening tonight. So we will cover the news, we'll talk about the box office a little bit, and then we'll jump straight into our thoughts on the movie, and I will put up the spoiler flags as soon as that time comes so everybody can know that that's what's happening, so nobody has to stick around if they haven't seen the movie yet. Joining us today, a special guest, Jason Entertainment. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me, DJ. It's always a pleasure to be on your channel, man.
Yeah, man, it's fun having you here. I'm glad you're able to join. For those of you watching, if you haven't checked out his channel before, his link is in the description of this video, if I did it right, so you can click on there and go check him out from that.
Thank you.
But again, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining this stream. Really appreciate you being here. And we will jump straight into it here. I don't think anybody's on with us yet, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and start with a couple of news topics before we get into this open spoiler discussion. Starting out today, man, my voice is... I feel like it's just, there's a frog in my throat or something. If you hear me ribbit, you'll know. Starting out today, because of the great news we had earlier in the week of the strike finally being over. I'm assuming you kept up with all that, Jason. You happy about that?
Yes, let's go.
So,
yeah, there was like 25. Yeah, there was like 25 news that you can't cover, because it's just impossible.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'm not gonna go over everything with the strike. I did a live stream with Kenny earlier in the week. If you guys want to go back and watch that, we discussed some of that a little bit more. But really happy for the actors and what they're able to get out of this. I think they wind up coming away. The strike was successful for them, even though it is sad because I keep seeing these reports about some of the different businesses around the areas in LA and things like that closed because of the strike, because there wasn't work being done and things like that. And I hate to see that kind of thing happen. But at the same time, for the actors anyway, the strike was successful. They got some of the things they were looking for. And, I mean, this is a 3-year deal. We'll be back at the drawing board here in just a few years. Hopefully, things are going to go a little smoother at that point. We won't have a strike. So hopefully that all works out. But right now, we're living in good times because movies are going back to shooting. We're getting new release dates for things. We knew some of this stuff was going to be pushed back. And that's some of what we're going to talk about here tonight as well. We knew some things were going to be pushed back, and we started to get a little bit of that information this week. But one thing that didn't get pushed, and maybe because it was coming out so far away anyway, is Superman Legacy. James Gunn got on Threads this week and put out, or was it yesterday, day before, whatever that was, and put out some information talking about Superman Legacy still being on track for its release date. And I have a article here, if I can bring it up, from Deadline.
I'm so glad it's still on, man. Superman. People were saying like, "Oh, it's gonna be canceled," whatever. I'm like, nah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll bring that up right here. All right. Yeah. So this article comes from Deadline. James Gunn says Superman Legacy is still on track for 2025 release despite strikes. I'll read a little bit of this. James Gunn's finally talking about development of DC Studios after SAG-AFTRA struck a deal with the studios following the prolonged strike. Despite the WGA SAG-AFTRA halting Hollywood for months, Gunn says his first DC film of the new universe he's constructing alongside Peter Safran, Superman Legacy, is still on track to make its debut on July 11th, 2025. Here was his words: "Thanks to the efforts of our talented crew who never lost faith during the longest strike in Hollywood history." One of the longest strikes in Hollywood history, because talking about both the writers and actors. And who never let their foot off the pedal, continuing to barrel forward, creating the most amazing character and set designs I've ever seen in my entire career. Hashtag Superman Legacy will be making an originally planned release date of July 11th, 2025. Gunn shared on Threads. Jason, what are your thoughts on this news we're getting from that?
Well, honestly, like like you said, I think since it was like so far down the line, it was 2025. So I was seeing this like, whoa, it would be weird, if this gets pushed, because I think they have a lot of time. It's different when you have to stop your shooting. Like for example, Deadpool or others that they had to abruptly shut down everything, or just like just shut down like the script wise and everything. So this one, I was like, yeah, I don't think I never saw like danger to Superman's legacy movie date. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's nice to
I think
see
that
that.
one
Yeah,
was definitely far enough out that it shouldn't have been affected unless the strike had pushed even further. But
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
say
yeah.
what was really nice about these comments are hearing that the set design and costume design, some of that stuff was still being worked on despite the strike. So
Yeah.
they didn't stop working on this movie, even though they couldn't write things and they couldn't shoot things and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I
So
know. Like for example, if I can do like a parallel with Sonic 3, for example, I know that they were still shooting like without the actors, they were still shooting like the motion captures of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. So like some productions, they
yeah,
still had the chance to still figure out something and still advance on the project without the actors. So it
right.
was, yeah, that's nice. It's nice really to hear that the costume department they still continue, and yeah, that's really important. Man.
Absolutely. All right. So that's our thoughts on Superman Legacy. If you guys have thoughts on that, let us know in the comments. Love to know what you guys are thinking about that production, knowing that we're still going to get that at the previously announced release date. And that still means that right now with DC, we have Aquaman coming out later this year in December.
Yep.
And then outside of, is it Creature Commandos animated series next year? There's no other
Yeah,
projects from DC coming out in 2024.
I know
So
another studio that has the same thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're definitely kind of in a rehaul in some of these superhero studios, and
yeah.
I
I,
think we're going to come out of this stronger than what we've been before. I
yeah,
really do.
but for sure they needed this. Like for sure
Yeah,
they really needed this.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's gonna be a break, and I don't know how many you're going to watch Creature Commandos, but I mean I'm excited for it because it'll be our first taste of what James Gunn's bringing to the DCU. So
yeah.
I'll be happy to see that. But as far as movies and theaters, we're waiting for the Superman Legacy, and it's not going to be till July of 2025. But I'm glad that they're still sticking to that, and we're not getting pushed like a year after that or something. So that's
Yeah.
nice to see. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple comments that we have in the comments section from. I
All
think they came
right.
in earlier before the stream started, so we'll see what's going on here. 80s kid from the 90s jumped in early. It looks like it had about 10 till 6 tonight or 10
Hey,
till
what's
7
up, 80s
tonight.
kid?
So he said it was excellent. I like the use of X there.
Yeah, I
We'll,
like that.
we'll get to that more in a little bit whenever I put up the
Hmm.
spoiler banner.
Yes.
But yeah, absolutely. That I personally really enjoyed the movie as well. So
Me too.
Mama Minutes, thanks for joining us here. It says glad you
Hey,
liked it. Looks good. Yeah, I hope you get to see it soon. For those who don't know, that is my Mama Minutes. That's why she's Mama
yeah,
Minutes.
your mama minutes. Is she like a huge like movie goer, or like she
She
rather
watches
watches?
a lot of movies, but she doesn't go out to the theaters to watch them much. She's
Okay,
very
so
much a
she's
home.
more streaming. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yes, she's very much a
Yeah.
homebody. She
Yeah,
her
that's
movie
fair.
theater experiences live through hearing me live by hearing me talk about it, and then she knows. Then she'll know which
Nice.
movies she wants to watch when they come
That's
out.
exactly my mom, man. That's exactly my mom. Me and my dad were like, "Hey, you want to come with us to the movie theaters? Oh, just tell me
Yeah,
how it was. That's my movie theater experience." I'm
yeah,
like, "Okay, fine."
yeah.
So yeah.
Now every once in a while she does go to one. I'll never forget. She might have went twice to see Shang-Chi, which is shocking to
Wow.
me, but it's great to me because that's like my favorite superhero movie. So
Yeah, that's great.
like that's awesome. She even took my grandmother and my late great grandmother to watch Shang-Chi when my great grandmother was still alive.
Hey,
So
nice, nice. Okay.
that's really cool. I think that might have been her last theatrical movie before she died. So
Oh man, hey, I'm
it
sorry
makes
to
me
hear that,
proud.
man. Yeah, I know, but damn, man, I'm
I'm
sorry
pretty
to hear that,
sure.
man.
I'm pretty sure at her age she had no idea what was going on in that movie.
Oh my god.
But still,
Oh, that's a lovely memory for sure, man.
absolutely. That maybe that's one of the reasons Shang-Chi is so special to me, just because of some of
Yeah, yeah,
that story with that. So, all right.
yeah.
Next topic. All right, this one I didn't tell you we were going to talk about tonight. I just wanted to kind of throw this out.
Yeah, no
I
worries. Yeah,
wanted,
I like to be
and this is
surprised,
going to
man.
be a non-spoiler thing, but I wanted to kind of hear your thoughts. Did you get a chance to watch Loki?
Yes, I did. Finally, I did yesterday. So good thing you good thing I did. Huh? Good thing I did. Also, Gen V. So now I'm updated. I
Oh
finished
yes,
everything.
yes.
I finished
Gen V. I
everything
had a lot of
finally.
fun with Gen V too.
Okay, so no spoilers, right, for Loki?
No spoilers. Just kind of give me your thoughts on Loki season
Okay.
one or season two. I'm
Overall
sorry.
thoughts.
And
All right. So season 2 overall thoughts. This is the one of the best things that Disney Plus has put. As simple as that. As simple as that, man. I mean, glorious purpose. That's all I can tell you. Man.
Glorious purpose.
Glorious, glorious purpose, man.
Just knock everything over. This is
yeah,
it.
yeah, like glorious purpose. You see, like there's things. that's
Everything
yeah.
goes
No, but
wrong.
honestly, like it was unexpected. I will admit something. Okay, so when I watched the final, it did take me a little while to understand. Like, okay, I know what I've seen, but I need to process this, And also because I've seen the Marvels, like people saw Loki and then they saw the Marvels. I did the opposite. I saw the Marvels.
I did it reverse.
Yeah, exactly. So that credit scene, like, whoa, it was so. I was that ending, which it was supposed to be the credit scene, by the way. So that ending and that credit scene, like, I was still with the feels of it. That when I saw Loki, I was a bit like, okay, I don't care because I'm still like, oh my god, I'm excited. Then when the hype went out, I'm like, oh my god, Loki was so exciting. So it took me a little while to process that, but no, honestly, Loki was fantastic. The only thing is like, why did they put Loki and the Marvels in the same freaking like week? Like why?
Yeah,
like
that is
that really
odd that they
undercuts the
would
Marvel.
that way. Yeah, yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
agree.
why?
It's like I was watching the Marvels while this dropped, so I didn't get to watch it when it dropped because I was in the theater at that moment watching
Yeah.
Marvels. I didn't watch Loki till next day because by the time I got home that night, I could have watched it, but I got online and played Fortnite with some friends, so I didn't get on Loki until the next day. So
nah, it's okay. But yeah, so that was the only thing about Marvel. Like I don't understand the schedule. That wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
But aside of that, yeah, Loki was fantastic. I like Loki. What about you?
Yeah, I had a great time with Loki. So I've told people Loki was like my fifth favorite DC. Oh my gosh, MCU show. It's like my fifth favorite MCU show in the Disney Plus live action shows, and it was because even though I loved a lot of the first season of Loki, there were 2 to 3 episodes that I didn't really enjoy. So for me, it kind of dropped off from that. Even though I loved the way it started, and I loved the finale of the last 2 episodes, really, of the first season, I really liked. There were some episodes in the middle, especially that train episode, where I just wasn't feeling it, and it kind of took me out of the show. So,
oh my god, thank you so much. People don't talk about that, but everybody says like Loki's season 1 is perfect. I'm like, no, it's not perfect. Like it's kind of inconsistent, but season 2 is really consistent.
Yeah, so season 2, coming into this, I was a little skeptical just because I didn't like season 1 as much as everyone else seemed to do.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, am I going to like this as much or not? We'll give it a shot. I mean, I'm not going to miss it. It's a Marvel show. but watching it, there wasn't a single episode that I come out of thinking, I don't like this. Like the second to last one, I think, was a little weaker than some of the others. But overall, I still really enjoyed the whole series or the whole show. And after watching season 2 and after that finale, I now have Loki as my number 1 favorite Disney Plus show.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Pumped up the ranks now.
Yeah. Now me too. Now for sure, Loki is like my favorite Disney Plus show. Like I think that especially season 2 is the more consistent Disney Plus. I think Disney Plus show in general. Like maybe I think Mandalorian and probably Loki season 2 are the most consistent. Like every episode was really consistent and enjoyable. But because then they have always like good episodes, but in the middle you have like some weak episode or like even episodes that you don't understand what's happening, or you have a weak finale.
Yeah, or a weak finale. That happens quite a bit too. So yeah. Absolutely. So that's kind of my turnaround with Loki and why that's now at the top of my list, because now I'm at Loki, WandaVision, Miss Marvel is my top 3 list now.
Oh, okay. I would put Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Except the finale, I think the rest was actually well written. But the finale, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened for me.
It's the same way I was with Moon Knight. Like I would have had that at the very top too, if not.
Yeah, Moon Knight too. Like
turned into
like Moon Knight. Yeah, the same thing. Moon Knight. Like I think Moon Knight is like my 4th, favorite MCU. So Disney Plus show. So yeah.
But who am I to talk? I even like She-Hulk, so I'm in that crowd.
I mean, I don't hate She-Hulk. All right, like hate is a big word. Like to say hate, it's like I don't want to rewatch this again. It's frustrating that this is what they wanted to do with She-Hulk, and first of all, it's a CG character, so it costs a lot of money. I'm like, this is too risky to. If you don't have the budget or you're not gonna put the budget, don't do it because this is gonna cost you a lot.
CG was pretty rough.
I remember the first episode; it was so good.
Yeah.
I think that's where the money went.
Like I thought, Bruce Banner looked just as good as he does in the movies.
Yeah. He was fantastic. He was fantastic, and then it was like, but it's just like like I like, again, the middle in the middle of the show. It's just I feel like they don't do anything. Like
Yeah.
I could skip those episodes and nothing really happened. And something barely happens, and it was just like, and those episodes actually made like the character of Jennifer like just a bit like whiny, and I was just like, what's going on? Like I like this character actually. Why are you making her me not liking her now? Like what the hell? And then of course Daredevil came. That I was waiting for Daredevil, to be honest, but so that's why I think it's an okay show. Like I don't think it's bad like people say, especially now they hate. But I understand why they're disappointed.
That's fair. All right. Before we jump on to our next topic, we'll go ahead and read some comments.
Yeah, let's go.
Chelsea Smith, all my family's jumping in.
Hey,
said, hey, what's up, Chelsea? And I'll bet you EJ's watching as well, since I know she's in the middle of putting him to bed right now. So hi, EJ. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Hey, look who's there.
Ken, what's going on, Ken? He said, hey.
I have a question for Ken after. Yeah.
Okay.
After. Yeah, after.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's great. I really like the first
I agree. It was good.
So, and then there's only 2 more episodes worth watching. I hope one of them is the Daredevil one, because
I think
I really like Daredevil. So,
he
says the one with Madison and the one with the Daredevil. Okay. Yeah.
Yo, Madison is so underrated. Yo, that episode with Madison, it was so funny. It's so underrated. Oh man, Madison, I remember her. It was nice to see that. But actually, which episode was your favorite episode of She-Hulk, or like your 2 favorites? Which were
for me?
Yeah.
So I like the full-on Daredevil episode. I really like, and actually, a lot of people down this, but I really like the finale. Like I like the fourth wall, her jumping through the TV screen. Like me and my wife were both like, "Wait, what's happening here?" Because we thought like we got back out somehow onto our
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. I was like, whoa, what happened?
And the whole Kevin thing with the robot, like there was a lot of things I just really got a good kick out of in that finale. So
I mean, I'm gonna props Marvel there because it's a bold finale. You don't see that really. So I like the changes. Now, that's the problem.
I do have a problem with that finale being the kind of rushed stuff they did with the final fight and some of that stuff, and kind of just skipping the fight altogether, not even really having one.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to have seen some fighting with Abomination there at the end. But at the same time, because the other things they did in that, I really enjoyed that finale.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something to Ken now, or are you gonna wait till later?
Oh well, I think I'm gonna wait like till the Marvels, or maybe I don't know. Can I don't know if I just wanted to know for Kenny, is Eternals better than the Marvels? That's the only thing I want to know.
Well, he's asking. You want me to join? Hey, man, we always want you to join.
Hey, man, we would love that. Yeah.
I had told Jason before that you weren't real sure about joining just because of some of the comments that have been going around.
Man, Ken, it's your own opinion, man. Come on, it's your own opinion. Come on, man.
But yeah, you're always more than welcome to join any of my streams that you want to jump in on, and it would keep Mama Minutes around. So, there's
and me too, Kenny. If I do another live stream for sure, you're always welcome to join, man. On my way. Yay, Kenny Sparks. Also, he wants to answer this in person, like, hey, is Eternals better than the Marvels?
Yeah, and we are not going to judge.
Nah. I'm just curious. I was curious, like, like when I thought about the Marvels, when I saw like his take on the Marvels, and which I understood completely, I was just wondering, like, is this worse?
He wasn't fully negative either. I mean,
that's the thing
about it as well. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, wait, what? Like,
I know there's some people that have come down on him particularly about how negative he was about it, and I thought, he gave it props where it was due too. So
I mean, but that's part of YouTube. I mean, look, I did my first my first short, thanks to Kenny. Actually, I have to thank him for that. So I did my first short because I used to put only shorts about me, but I never could edit that because I didn't have the edit software. Now I realized the edit program that I use always had that, like to put if you want for a short. I'm like, wow, I just realized this right now. But anyway, like there's a little complication. So Kenny told me like I could use a program to help me with that. So that actually really helps me. And I did that. I just reacted to Inside Out 2, and I got like 3 dislikes. And I'm like, what the hell? Just reacting. I'm like, whatever. You see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
I will say shorts for me get more dislikes than any of my other stuff.
Really? Wow.
I get so many dislikes in shorts. I don't know why
I
that
don't
is.
understand
It
why.
seems to happen
I
a
don't
lot. Now,
understand
I'll
why.
also say I think I've got 7 dislikes on my The Marvels review right now. So
The Marvels.
yeah, my full Marvels review. I've got 7 dislikes on that one at the moment. So that's why I
I
was
think
kind of worried about this stream tonight, knowing that we're going to talk about it,
man.
just because
I
it seems to
don't
be a
know how
very
much. To be
controversial
honest,
subject.
I didn't watch the statistics of that video. Like I had no time. Like today, like I just had time to answer to the people that comment on the video, but I'm now I'm kind of curious. Wait, let me see. Maybe I have like 14 dislikes or something.
Oh man.
Oh man. Anyway, I
Yeah,
don't know,
that's what
man.
I think mine's sitting at about 100 views right now, and 7 of those have
Oh, actually, yeah, I have 2 dislikes.
yeah, yeah. I
Oh
think
my
this is
god.
the most disliked review I've done on a
Hey,
movie.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, people, I'm sorry, but come on, I can't tell you what you want to hear. I just want to say what I thought
Exactly.
about it. I
Exactly.
thought about it. You know, like you can dislike the video because it's not well edited. I don't care about that. Yeah, okay, then you
Yeah,
can dislike, but don't dislike because I said it's good or bad. Come on.
I do want to give some props to YouTube. I had 2 different comments that were flagged for review that I was able to delete before they got put on, and I'm really glad I
Hey,
did.
really?
And both of them were completely opposite opinions on this movie, coming at me. One of them come at me for my pros, one of them come at me for my cons.
Okay.
And I'm just like, come on, guys, it's just my opinion.
I didn't know
It's like
I
life and
didn't know
death
YouTube
stuff.
does that. I didn't know YouTube does that. Like, I wish they could have done
Yeah.
that for the. I can't believe someone called me racist for the Little Mermaid trailer, which I'm saying Halle Bailey's gonna kill it, and someone called me racist for it. I'm like, dude, I just said Halle Bailey's going to kill it. How am I racist for that? What?
Yeah.
Literally that person told me,
Things happen.
oh, you don't know nothing about Halle Bailey. You're such a racist. You're gonna see. She's gonna show you on your face that she's gonna progress. I'm like, dude,
That
during
ain't
the
what
whole
you were
time, like
saying.
Halle Bailey,
Yeah.
she's gonna be fantastic, dude. How am I racist? What?
Yeah.
I'm
I
like, dude,
understand.
like seriously, I'm just like, wow, whatever, whatever, man.
Well, guys, it looks like we've got extra company joining us. You ready,
Yay!
Ken? Here comes Mr. Kenny Spots.
Hey,
Yay!
what's up, y'all? Fresh
What's
out
up,
the
Kenny?
gate, already frozen camera. Let's go. Starting this
And
thing off right.
Ken comes on, and the view count automatically jumps up. Look at that.
Exactly, man. Yeah, look, we
Hey,
already have
hey.
like 10 more people that came. You know, thanks to Ken, instantly, just like that.
Oh, I'm frozen again. All right, here we go.
Get that straightened away here in just a second, I'm sure.
Okay, good.
All right, cool.
Hey, how's it going, gentlemen?
We're doing good. We've got a couple topics down. We've got 2 more before we start this spoiler talk about this movie.
Awesome.
You got any quick thoughts over our first 2 topics? We just talked about James Gunn saying that Superman's still on schedule, and then we talked about our thoughts for Loki, or the things
I'm excited for Superman. I'm really excited for Superman. I think he's going to do a really good job with it. I don't know. Hey, oh no, hey, Mama Minutes. I don't know why people are so trepidatious about James Gunn. I think they think that that he's going to turn every single DC movie into a James Gunn movie. I think the fact that James Gunn was given carte blanche and given the ability to make his own thing essentially within the MCU, I think that he would give other directors the same respect to allow them to cook, if you will. And what was the other topic? I forget.
We just gave our quick thoughts about Loki season 2.
Oh, I was talking with Cosmic Broadcast earlier today, and we were talking about it, and it's very hard to end things well, and I'm just amazed at how well Loki ended. There's not going to be
a 6-episode season.
Yeah, I really thought that 6-episode seasons couldn't work. Loki has proven me wrong. I think the thing that Loki did well that other Disney Plus shows haven't done well is that the story was very tight. They stuck to specifically what they needed to do. Because a lot of the other Disney Plus shows, they will wait until episode 5 to tell you what the conflict is, and then you would have to try to resolve it in 30 minutes in episode 6. So Loki was consistent in telling us, hey, this is the issue, this is the issue, this is the issue. And then trying to resolve that during the end. Actually, they would introduce the issue episode 1 and then try to resolve it for the next 5 episodes, right? So that's much better than the way some of the other Disney Plus shows went. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what we both really enjoyed it. I was saying this is now moved up the ladder, and Loki's now my favorite MCU show.
Oh, by
because
far
of
my
the season
favorite MCU
2,
show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It
I love the
passed
fact
up
that there's
Miss
not
Marvel
going to
and
be a season 3.
yeah. I'm without spoiling that part because I didn't tell people we were spoiling Loki yet.
Mhm.
The way they ended it to me was perfect.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of sad,
It is
Yeah.
sad,
it was
sure.
it was kind of perfect too. So
Yeah, what's up, Eclectic?
Eclectic Beard is in the chat. Thanks for joining today. Appreciate
Hey,
you being
Eclectic
here.
Beard.
Mama Minutes, I'm back. Saw Ken was coming.
Hilarious. Hey, Mama Minutes.
Color
But
me
yeah.
not shocked.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
not
to
gonna
answer
read.
your question, oh wait, should I answer Jason's question later
You,
about Eternals?
let's get to the Marvels talk, and then we'll do that. And
Okay.
That includes 80s Kids comment he just put in. I'm gonna wait on that comment as well. So,
oh yeah, this is spoilers, right?
Yeah, we're going to be talking spoilers.
Yeah.
But we're going to wait.
Like,
we're going to wait just a minute before we. I'm going to give people a chance to watch the news stuff before we get to the spoilers on that. So we'll do that. Cool. Next topic I do want to mention is Marvel shuffles release dates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you guys probably saw this. I'm going to bring this up for those that haven't. I've got a report from. Where is this one at? This is Hollywood Reporter, I think, maybe. It's going slow. Let's see if I can get this up here. I thought I had all this situated.
It's alive. Something's always going to go wrong.
Well, how does it seem? Is it bringing up for you guys anything?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's.
I would say just move the.
Let me see.
The banner. Oh no! Oh no!
No, DJ.
All right. So here's what we'll do for now. So basically, DJ's a really good guy. I've really enjoyed his presence. I've enjoyed everything that he's brought to the MovieTuber space, and he's back.
Sorry about that. I'm not going to try to bring that up on my side again, just because it was freezing me up when I was doing it.
All right.
I'll try to bring it up on my side, even though I'm freezing up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's like we're overloading StreamYard.
Or like in the worst case scenario, you just say it like.
I'll just read it. I mean, if it comes, you know, can always just.
First, I gotta find it. But, Marvel Studios. Who are these people? Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood Reporter. Deadpool Trace. What?
Yeah,
Stop it.
was talking about all the shuffling around or the movie release dates and stuff.
All right, cool. Got that. Got Deadpool. Got the Negro Bird. That was an inside joke. I don't know how that.
Okay.
Damn, man.
I'm like you're losing me there. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so all right, and I'll switch us over to the proper situations.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Oh wait, should I? Yeah, I should probably.
Can zoom a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, that'll work. All right, so yeah, this article, Hollywood Reporter, says Deadpool 3, Captain America 4 among Marvel release dates changes as strike ends. Scroll down just a little bit. Read a little bit of this.
Gotcha.
It says summer tentpole Deadpool 3 will swim into theaters a bit later than originally anticipated. As part of the slate shift from Marvel Studios, Disney announced late Wednesday that the high-profile threequel will now open at domestic box office July 26, 2044. 2024 instead of May 3rd, 2024. Captain America New World Order, which previously held the July date, has been moved 9 months to February 14, 2025. Other moves, Marvel's anti-hero eccentric movie Thunderbolts, starring Florence Pugh and Sebastian Stan, has moved to July 25th, 2025, pushed back from 2024. And Blade, starring Mahershala Ali, has been delayed 9 months moving to 3 days after my birthday next year, November 7th, or year after next, November 7th, 2025.
He's going to cut that studio in half himself.
Yeah.
He's going to slay everyone
Very well
in the production. Another 9 months. Mahershala is not getting any younger.
No,
he looks
he's not.
great for his age. Yeah. But how old is Mahershala? Alexa, how old is Mahershala Ali?
Mahershala Ali is 49 years old.
He's 49.
Yeah.
Okay. RDJ stopped when he was like 52 or something like that.
Yeah, he's getting up there. We'll have to see where this goes with that. But either way, as long as it gets done, I'm really excited to see him play that role. So,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hopefully it all works out there. So yeah, so much like we talked about DC holding its release date in 2025, and that means they don't have any movie projects coming out next year. All we have is Creature Commandos from DCU. That Marvel is now at a place where they have one single movie coming out next year. We might get a couple Disney Plus shows. I know we got Echo in January, and
I think we'll get Ironheart. Probably.
Yeah, probably
Ironheart. Yeah. Probably right with Ironheart, and maybe there's an animated show as well. And I don't know if there's something else that might get released or not. But I saw good stuff. No, 49 is not getting up there, fellas.
I meant up there in terms of jumping over cars and being hung up by ropes, and unless you're Tom Cruise. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what I'm getting at with that though is that means almost all of this next year, we don't have but one. I mean, I'm not counting Craven, so we don't have but one major superhero movie coming in theaters.
You forgot Venom too, huh? You forgot Venom as well.
Is Venom Web next year, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's November now. I think it's.
I'm just discounting all of Sony's superhero movies, even though I'm going to watch them. I'm not counting those as major blockbusters.
It's not quality, so let's go. Right. Let's just talk about quality.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, by the way.
So I may love all those movies. I don't know.
I get a subscription less now because I said that. Man. Oh man, my bad.
I've lost more subs this week than it's all good. I think this is going to help, though. I think this is going to be a positive thing for a lot of people that are getting kind of tired of the mediocrity. I loved your post earlier today, Ken, by the way, about the fatigue. Because we don't get horror movie fatigue. We don't get, that kind of stuff. That's not a real thing. It's the same thing with superhero movies. It's just that people are tired of not enjoying what they're seeing in the theaters when they go. Yeah. And that we were so used to greatness for so long, even though there were misses back then, too. It was still, we were pumping out a lot of stuff that people were really enjoying.
Right.
And I think this little break, we're getting a full year break here. That's really going to help us, I think, kind of resetting things, especially since we've got actual showrunners coming to the shows now. We've got we've got Kevin Feige kind of taking control and not having a full plate like he had, where he's having to release so much stuff in 1 year. It's really going to help the quality on some of these other movies that are going to come out because he's having more time to work on them with the directors and the different people. I truly think that that's the case anyway. I may watch these movies when they come out and completely change my tone, but right now I'm looking at that as a positive. And the same thing with DC. It's giving time to let people let the DCEU go, although there will be some that won't, and prepare for the new DCU as it comes with a little bit of a break. So that's my thoughts on those. Y'all got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think that it's a good thing that there's a break. I actually thought after Endgame, we probably should have had a year-long break. Because just to let that breathe, because right after Endgame, we went right into the epilogue, which was Far From Home, which is a movie I don't hate, but I do enjoy that movie after Mysterio's revealed, because before that, it's just kind of like,
wow.
Yeah, exactly. But then after that, we went straight into, I think, WandaVision and Loki and all these other things, which wasn't bad. Both of those things I just named were pretty good, but I think the multiverse saga would have benefited from a little bit of space between the end of the Infinity Saga and stuff like that. So, with that being said, I do think that having a year off, besides Deadpool, which it's good that it's Deadpool because people will be really excited for it. So it's not like, we have a year off and this is no shade against the Marvels whatsoever. Oh, we have a year off and the only thing that's coming out is the Marvels. because we know that the crowds probably wouldn't. A lot of people probably wouldn't have been as excited as they would for like a Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's no shade towards the Marvels whatsoever. It's just like expectations would, and stuff like that.
Right.
Or hype, I should say. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. I think that. I'm sorry, I'm being long-winded. I think that we'll get Echo. I think we'll get Ironheart, and I think we'll also get What If What If doesn't come out this year. But I think we'll get What If as well, and probably one other animated thing. And there might be like a Marvel special presentation because those things
That would be cool.
they did just
That
kind
would
of
be
pop
cool.
up out of nowhere. So yeah,
And I've
That'd
liked
be
both
cool,
of the
yeah.
ones they've done so far on those.
same. I haven't watched the colorized Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, no, I didn't.
I didn't either. Yeah, good points. All right. That's good for that topic. We're fixing to get in box office review. Before we do, I want to go ahead and catch up on our comments just to make sure we're caught up.
Also, we'd just like to point out next year we have one film from Marvel and one from DC. We have Joker 2 and we have Deadpool 3.
Joker.
So actually, that's pretty cool. Like we're gonna have like two big IPs that people really want to see, and that makes also.
Yeah, I keep forgetting Joker with it not being part of the.
I just meant like DC, just DC in general.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. It's like those two. I think people will be more hyped, and also I think like when I was looking at the schedule for next year, was like I know those two will bring people back to the superhero like trend.
For sure.
Joker was fantastic. I don't believe Joker 2 will flop. I don't think so. At least it looks really promising. And
yeah,
Deadpool
Lady
3 is
Gaga, so
Deadpool
that's a
3.
whole nother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Deadpool 3. You have Deadpool 3. I mean,
Oh, no.
it's really hard to have a hard time with Deadpool.
Yeah, I tell you what, he mentioned Lady Gaga. She has shocked me with how well she is at acting.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's
been
great.
very good.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna skip over that one for a minute. 80s Kids, I'm starting to feel like casual audience is not interested in comic movies anymore. Again, we go back to people just want to see things that they're enjoying, and they haven't been
I think it's more. Yeah, I think it's more of that because we've been seeing like some miss. I think that's about it. I mean, yeah, for sure. Like maybe we've been having a lot of superheroes. Like for example, now Sony is making their own superhero stuff, DC as well, and the quality has dropped from the three studios, especially from Marvel. So yeah, you feel like I don't want to see any more superheroes anymore. Also, Disney Plus that's been pumping some somewhat good to okay quality like Disney Plus show, except some of them, of course. So.
I mean, how do we go from a Secret
sure.
Invasion to a Loki season 2? Like,
exactly. Like Secret Invasion was like it's the opposite. Damn.
How do we do that? All right, Mama Minutes. This is kind of an interesting point. I like Blue Beetle and She. I like the separate movies that I can keep up with easier. So she's one of those that doesn't like the connected part of the universe. Like she wants
that's very fair
stories, and there are several of those out there. Because while I've heard it from a lot of major MCU fans, hey, I want to see more connective tissue in these movies.
No.
You also have a large fan base that are very much, hey, I get confused when you try to insert too much stuff into it that I haven't watched already.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So,
I honestly didn't hear that until Disney Plus.
Yeah, really, that's a big thing.
That's what messed it up. Like Disney Plus, it's a lot to catch up,
Yep.
Yeah.
And
let's see. 80s Kid says.
No.
He says cough Looney Tunes.
No, wait, what? He canceled that? No. Oh yeah, from
he
John Cena, right?
John Cena. Yeah. But
come on, man.
I mean, I'm actually a Zaslav fan and defender for a lot of the things he's done. So maybe I'm a bad guy here. I just, I think some of the cancellations he's done. I think the cancellations he's done with stuff like Batgirl and maybe this Looney Tunes movie. I don't know much about the backstory on it, but if they're not great movies and they're not going to make you money, if they're going to lose you money, why put?
But the thing is, like Looney Tunes, they didn't shot this. The other was already completed, so that kind of sucks.
Looney Tunes was shot from my understanding. I think Looney Tunes.
Oh, it was already shot too.
It was done.
So this ain't like the Wonder Twins where they hadn't even started production on it yet.
Now that one, I was kind of like, you can cancel that one.
If they didn't start the production, or unfortunately a writer wrote a script but it wasn't greenlit or was already greenlit, that's not that bad. I mean, it sucks for the writer, right, or the writers, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, but like the bad girl one, I was just like, well, in life you have to learn, like, just put it, because it sucks for. I think it was the directors of Miss Marvel that did that, so
Yeah.
it was going to be on their CV probably. I don't know, like maybe hey, sometimes it sticks for someone, like sometimes maybe someone would have said it's actually really great,
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean, I understand. He's looking for his company, so I understand that. But yeah, it's
I would have been
and this-
curious to see Brendan Fraser play. I think it was Firefly. he was
Firefly.
supposed to play.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
I was excited for that, but
Mhm.
at the same time, I understand he's coming in needing to change the company from being a negative moneymaker to a positive, and he's got to do
Yeah, for sure.
things on a business side to try to change things up. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you always have to do some tough calls. That
Definitely pros and
I
cons.
understand. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's really excited, huh? He's really
so
with
we're going
that.
to get into his excitement here in a little bit. The moment it says Joker sounds cool. Yeah, the
It
new one.
does.
Yeah,
It does. Yeah,
it's a very interesting direction they're taking that movie. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's your
a
favorite,
musical.
DJ? It's a musical.
I know I'm. Although we're going to talk about some things today that makes me kind of worry on that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to
80s
hear you sing, guys.
80s and 90s. I'm so excited for Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty. Yeah, I
Same.
mean,
Yeah, I am.
as long as those movies are still coming, and I still hope that and think they are, but
Oh, they're definitely coming. I can't see them
for sure,
canceling it. If they
Like,
cancel
after-
it, they might as well just
like-
cancel.
Like after the Marvel and Loki, like for sure they're coming. Like
Yeah.
Mama Minute said, especially when they make it where you have to watch TV shows too. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
The TV
100%.
shows should be an accent to the movies, not a must-watch for the movies. Does that
I
make
think
sense?
I'm sorry.
No, I mean that's just kind of how I feel like they should be looked at when they're being made, is to accent the movies to give you more depth, not so much as you have to watch this before you can watch this next movie. I don't agree with them doing that for a TV show.
Yeah.
Like that's why I love the idea of Marvel Spotlight. Like that's what they should be. Marvel Spotlight. Like you watch that, you have more information about this character, and probably I don't know. I'm pretty sure Daredevil is going to be in Secret Wars at one point. Like probably you don't bring Daredevil for nothing, but you don't need like if you skip Daredevil's show, it's okay. You didn't skip anything either. Like maybe just the character and that's it. So Marvel Spotlight.
It's a fine line because you want these shows to have merit and to have stakes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You also don't want them to be, alienating your core audience either.
Yeah, but I mean, like they can have like their own little universe like in the shows. Like for example, I think Echo with Daredevil and probably another one will be like connected. The three of them. So, and you're not skipping like something really like like they're street fighters. They're not like beating aliens or like why do they care about Kang? They just want to clear New York streets. So yeah.
Yeah, when the Netflix shows were out, I think that some people believe that it was a part of the main MCU, which I wouldn't blame anybody for. But even so, I think a lot of people were content with them just resolving their own issues on their own four corners of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
All right, 80s kid. I heard screeners love the movie. He's talking about Looney Tunes. Maybe that's true. I know that I think it was a director come out and said some things similar to those comments similar to that. I don't know. That's all hearsay to me. And, of course, the director is going to defend their movie, So
screeners loved it. Screeners hated it. I'd never put any stock into any of that.
Right.
Yeah,
So maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. We're never going to know the full story because this movie's canceled. I mean, the truth is we're not going to get a full detailed information about that.
But man, poor John Cena, he's having a rough week. Like Freelance had like 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, something like the latest movie, and now not Looney Tunes. Damn, that must hurt, man.
Minutes, but I like the TV shows like Miss Marvel. I just don't want to see them all to see a movie. Completely understandable.
Yeah.
That goes back to my Ahsoka with Rebels situation that I had. I didn't want to have to see the cartoon to watch the show.
Honestly, at this point, I don't understand why they didn't just greenlight Rebels season 5. Like at this point, I'm just like,
I just called it that, and then people would know, hey, this is
and you have like Ahsoka show, which is like about Ahsoka first of all, and you have like your Star Wars Rebels show, like season 5.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to get to our spoiler within the next 10 minutes or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to box office review. We're gonna look at the box office. I'm gonna try.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I'm gonna see if mine will work again.
Oh, this is gonna hurt, man. I don't want to see these numbers. Yeah. Ken, speaking of numbers, have you seen Spurs numbers lately? Yeah. It's okay. We're gonna come back. It's okay. We're gonna come back, man.
Looks like it's working for me here on this one. So, all right, I got the domestic brought up from the weekend. This is U.S. numbers. We do have the marbles at the top with a 47 million.
Can you zoom in a bit?
I'm gonna try. I'm trying to figure out how to zoom with this. I actually don't see a zoom on my.
It should be Command Plus or Control Plus.
You can tell I really know what I'm doing on my computer.
All
How
right.
about that?
No problem.
Did that work out?
Yeah,
Is that
perfect.
Okay. All right, so we got the marbles at 47 million for the weekend, which is lower than even the last projections that I had seen for it.
Yeah, wow.
That's unfortunate. Five Nights at Freddy's is still hanging out number 2 with a 9 million, another 52% drop after a 69% drop last week or something like that, or 77%. So it's been dropping quite a bit week to week. Taylor Swift still with another 5.9, and still in a bunch of theaters right now. Priscilla hanging on at number 4 spot with only a minus 4.9% drop, but it added 1,000 theaters this week that it didn't have last week.
Nice.
So it went more worldwide for that A24 film. Overall, that one's made 12 million so far. I don't know what that budget was, but I don't imagine it was real high. Killers of Flower Moon dropped from 3 down to 5 with 4.6 million. Holdovers, I'm really excited for this. This is sitting at 90-something% on both critic and audience right now. So,
DJ, we can't see it because of the banner.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get rid of that banner so you can see it. Look at that.
Cool.
And I'll scroll down a little bit too, and maybe that'll help. Holdovers, again, like I said, it's sitting at 90-something% on audience and critic right now. It did add 700 more theaters, and then this next weekend is when it actually fully releases to a more wide theatrical audience. So I figure we'll see an increase in percentage on it as well next week. But it made another 3 million in only 778 theaters, which is fantastic. I feel like for a movie like this, because this is not a big budget looking movie. I mean, this kind of reminds me of like an old 80s style, like Breakfast Club type movie. You know, a kid is left on like a winter break, and you've got him and his teacher. They're like reluctant teacher, don't want to be there, is stuck watching these kids that are left behind and don't have families to go back to for the break and that kind of thing.
I have to watch that trailer. I've been hearing so many great things about Holdovers.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. After seeing Ken's review for for Next Go Wins, this is now kind of taken over my most anticipated to see right now.
Wait, you've already seen Next Goal Wins? Damn, man.
I saw it last Monday.
Wow, Ken, man.
Yeah, it was last Monday. Yeah.
Wow, Ken, you lucky, man.
It's not good, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, I've been hearing some mixed stuff about that.
It's not just Ken. There's a lot.
Yeah, me too. I've been hearing some mixed stuff about that.
And I like Taika a lot, but yeah.
So that's Holdovers at 6. Number 7, Journey to Bethlehem. I don't even know what that is. But it's in 2,000 theaters, so it made a little over 2 million. Paw Patrol still hanging in there at 1.7. That one's made 64 million so far. Like worldwide total gross domestic, 64 million.
Paw Patrol, not bad, huh? Not bad.
Yeah, gotta be a win.
Radical, which is another one I don't know much about.
This is a movie I want to watch because I did with a girl called Joanny. She's really cool, actually, for the Latinos, and she talked to me about Radical. It's from Eugenio Derbez. She's like a teacher, and I've been hearing excellent things about this. Like it's gonna make you cry apparently, and things like that. So it's a Mexican production. So I love Eugenio Derbez, so I can't wait to see this movie actually.
And I'm surprised this one's still in theaters. Exorcist Believer is still at number 10 right now.
Yeah, I saw that down the list. I was like, that's still
crazy.
Yeah, I know. When I went to theaters to see Marvels the other day, it was still playing. That and Saw 10 were both still playing in my theater this past weekend.
Wow, Saw 10
this weekend. So
wow, Radical has 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like people told me it's gonna make you cry, man. Like it's really, really, it's hard. I just know he's a teacher. That's the only thing I know. He's a teacher and probably a teacher in Mexico, I suppose. And yeah, I can't wait to see that
I'm gonna
movie.
see if
But
I
I don't know where to
find
see
it
it. Like here in Canada, we don't have it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So Marvel's
I'm looking
worldwide
now.
right now is at 88.5 million.
Whoa.
That's where
I
the
did
Marvels
not-
is worldwide.
Oh wait. Wait, what
Okay,
is it?
it's not that bad.
88.5 million worldwide is what Marvel's made this weekend. 47 in the
Yeah.
US and then 88 total. So it made almost as much internationally as it did in the US.
I would
That's not
disagree that that's not bad, only because
No, it is bad, yeah.
the standard for Marvel movies and their own standard for themselves is different from the standard for regular movies, so to speak. So
Yeah.
to them,
No,
I would say
it is
that's
true.
pretty bad.
Oh yeah. Now that I reconsider, it's a Marvel movie. It is bad.
Yeah.
Also, we have to remember that Captain Marvel is a $1 billion franchise as well.
Right.
And also, this movie, I think it cost like 275 million or something like that. So
Yeah,
it actually cost a lot of money. So yeah,
I think they would have been happy with like 125 weekend one, but 88 is pretty bad.
But I'll say 88 is higher than what I was expecting to see when I went to World.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
I was expecting, like, we made 47 domestic. I thought it'll be about 65, 70 at World. So
Yeah.
I'm it's sad that we're looking at that and saying, oh, that's better than I thought it was going to be. But
When does the Hunger Games come? Next week, right?
Next week.
Hunger Games?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay, now because I was about to say, like, because of online chatter, like from the audience especially, maybe that could save the Marvel a little bit. You know, it could come a little bit high. But if you have the Hunger Games and Next Goal Wins and Thanksgiving, I believe the same day, yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's a wrap for the Marvels, unfortunately.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe it's yeah.
Well, we'll get
I
the
think we'll
comments.
still see all those characters again, which is good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. I think I can still read a couple of these before we start. 80s Kid, Brie Larson's a great actress. She was funny on Tonight Show as well. People need to remember that actors are regular people like us. Yeah.
Accurate.
I mean, Oscar winner Brie Larson. Don't forget, she is an Oscar winner.
Mm-hmm.
80s Kid, the Marvels felt like a comic book that came to life. It was awesome. Okay. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And I still want to wait till we get to the spoiler banner before I put up that next comment after that. Good to see everyone watching the replay. Hey, man, thanks for joining the stream. I know
Thank you so much
probably
for
got to
being
get
here,
to bed
man.
or whatever, so appreciate you being here. And yeah, it'll be up for you to rewatch later. All right. With that down, we're going to get into our main topic tonight. And I just accidentally did that. Oh, you know what I never did? I never took the time, or I forgot that I had this on here, thanks to Ken. And I could have done this at each one of those segments, and I forgot. Because I have this.
Nice.
Thanks for joining
great,
us
yeah.
for Movie News Minute. Tonight we've got a great topic for you. We're going to be talking about the Marvels and our thoughts on it. Thanks for joining.
That was awesome.
Nice. That was good.
So the last time, 2 weeks ago when I had my streams, I didn't have one last week due to being at the Beatles live. Beetlejuice live at the Orpheum in Memphis. I didn't do a stream, but the week before I used that in like every single one of my news topics. And it was probably pretty annoying to some people, but Zagatek says, look at these beautiful people.
Hey, Zach. How's it going?
How are you
man?
doing, man?
As beautiful as the movie. Well, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And before we talk about this movie, I'm going to switch and of course, this next part ain't going to have this. So if you see this, subscribe to DJ and Jason. Also subscribe to Ken. I don't actually have Ken's thing in the link yet, or a link in the description yet, but it will be when this video's finished. I'll get that added. But Jason's is in the description right now, so make sure you go sub to his channel. If you like his content, don't just sub to sub because you enjoy his stuff, because I know you will once you watch some of it.
Thank you.
And now that I'm going to switch away from that saying subscribe, spoilers. We're in a spoilers section of this video.
Spoilers.
And just to increase that some more, Marvel spoilers discussion. Everybody knows from here on out, we have spoilers. So
Or
what we need to do at some point is add like up here where I have like my logo or something. We need to get like something put there to put spoilers across or something to make it even more.
Yeah, like a little photo
like
something.
this. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
But for now, everybody that's watching, we are going to talk about this movie in a spoilery way. And if your comment is put in a way that is very negative and very downing of us or anyone else who enjoyed or didn't enjoy this video, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to skip that comment. I'm not here for that. We're here to talk about this movie, our likes and dislikes, however that is, without being condescending. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So for that, anybody that's in the chat, that I'm just telling you now, if your comment gets skipped, it's because either A, we didn't have time to get to it and we've got too many comments, or B, I just don't want the controversy in here tonight. So there is all of that. Darkroom Review is in the chat. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Darkroom.
Hey, what's up, Darkroom?
Thanks for joining us tonight. Glad you could be here. All right, guys. So here we go. Spoiler discussion. First of all of us have put up our reviews for this movie. I think everybody, have we all watched each other, so we kind of got an idea where we're at probably?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I'll go ahead and just start. This is a movie that I really enjoyed. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought the characters were fantastic, and I'm definitely a character guy where if you give me great characters doing cool things and telling me giving me some fun dialogue between them, I'm going to let some other things go in a movie. I know not everybody can do that. That's something that is part of my movie enjoyment. So the characters in this I thought were fantastic. If you saw my review, you know there were a couple of issues I did have with this movie, and I'll get into those more as we dive into this movie some more. But overall, I thought it was a fun time. I really enjoyed my time watching it. It's not going to go down as one of my top favorite movies in the MCU by no means, but it's also not one of the worst movies in the MCU to me either. So that's where I am on that, and we'll dive more into that soon. Jason, what did you think of the Marvels?
So a bit like you know, like, so I went with caution with this movie. Like, I think that's important to point out because I was intrigued to see this movie. I wasn't really excited. I wanted to lower my expectations a little bit. And I think that was the key for me, like to lower my expectations because I didn't know what I was going to get. And since I lowered my expectations, I wasn't like, oh, this is going to be Infinity War or elaborate as Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, like say like that. So I just went and I was just like, I want to have fun. That's the only thing. If I have fun, that's going to make my night. And that's what I had. I had fun. Like I laughed a lot of times actually during the movie. The characters were great. Like you said, I think Brie as well as Kamala and Tiana were very nice. And I would love to see them again. The 20 last minutes, including that credit scene, like I had a huge smile on my face. I felt like a kid once again. And probably I was biased on my review because I know like if I'm objective, I would put a different grade. But because they touched me, like, that sounds wrong. Sorry, they touched somewhere that I wanted to. That sounds really wrong. But okay, so they really touched my nostalgia in two ways. So that's why I was like, "Ooh, okay, thank you so much. You got me there." But seriously, like I think like, during the whole movie, I really had some. Overall, I had some fun. I wasn't bored necessarily. Like you know, like half of the movie was just like, wait, people were saying it's so boring. It's like crappy and everything. I didn't feel like that. I was like enjoying. You know, I was enjoying. That's what I wanted to enjoy. Of course, it's not a perfect movie. It's way far to be a perfect movie. A lot of flaws, and also like hearing comments about Ken. I realized some other flaws that I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, I understand why people criticize a lot this movie. I just went with the other perspective that I didn't want to go with a loop and see every missed detail. I just wanted to have fun, and that's what I got. So that's why I enjoyed this movie, and for me, it passed.
Okay, Ken, you want to jump in a little bit?
Yeah. So I was. The hell's going on here? I'm sorry. My camera started acting up, so I had to switch to something else. But what was I going? Yeah, I was the person who didn't enjoy the movie as much as everyone else did. I don't like this movie in particular. There are aspects about this movie I do like. Iman Vellani is incredible. Tiana Paris is awesome. And that's really where it ends for me. Like there's certain things about this movie that I did not have a problem with. I think that other people have a problem with. For one, the singing planet makes no difference to me. It's pretty cool. I've seen a lot of Star Trek. It's whatever, right? If you watch Star Trek, you see a bunch of just weird stuff, and there's a bunch of planets in the galaxy. So why would that? I didn't even mention this in my review, but yeah, there's a bunch of planets in the galaxy. I'm sure there's one where people sing, and I'm sure there's one where people don't talk at all, and they just grunt at each other. So that makes no never mind to me. So my biggest issue with this movie are the technical issues that a lot of people are saying that they are okay with because they had a good time. And I'm glad people had a good time. You guys know me. I'm not someone who's like, I hated it. You should hate it too. It was like, what that? Like that attitude is weird. The reverse attitude is weird. I loved it. You should love it too. Like that. Yeah. That also is equally as weird to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just felt that the way that the story was told, especially in the first act of the movie, it just didn't work for me in terms of what the hell is going on. There's so much going. I had a friend who I was sitting next to. He was like, "Do you know what's going on?" I knew exactly what was going on, but the problem was that it was so fast paced that it did not allow itself to catch its breath whatsoever. Right, the movie just kind of started, and then it just went. You know what I mean? So from that perspective, I was just having a really rough time with the first act of the movie, and to the point where it was very much kind of like editing issues as well. There's certain parts where people are wearing one set of clothes and then aren't wearing that set of clothes and then are wearing that set of clothes. I could have sworn I saw Kamala like switch with somebody, go up to a spaceship, and then go back down in regular clothes. I think I might have missed that or made that mistake.
No, yeah, it's true,
also, someone also said that is what happened. So I was
that
like,
is what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I didn't notice it myself. Like it wasn't something.
No, yeah, it is. If you watch one of the trailers, you can see that scene, and it is true. Like that's an inconsistency, which I realized that after. Yeah,
I actually took it out of my I actually took it out of my review because I watched the trailer again, and it looks like she has on regular clothes and then goes up a regular clothes. But I could have sworn when I watched the movie, she had her costume on when she got beamed up. I can show you, and then she went up. So maybe I remember it wrong or whatever, but I know in the moment that it happened, I was like, no. That for me, that takes me out of movies. And contrary to some people's beliefs, some of the comments I've received are, well, I don't go into movies looking for problems. I don't either. Like, but if they show up and they're not blatant means intent, but if they show up and they're just there, it's just kind of like, well, I'm not about to sweep this under my rug. You know what I mean? So issues like that, pacing issues in the beginning, editing mistakes, it was very sloppy. There are parts of the movie where I thought really needed some breathing room, some extended time, especially with Tiona Paris, with Monica Rambeau's and Carol's relationship.
I agree with
I
that.
thought that was just sped right by, and it was something I was really interested in. I had even forgot that she refers to her, or I didn't even know that she would have referred to her as Aunt Carol. I thought that that's interesting, right? So, and the question of this is not a big issue for me because I have some headcanon around it. But I would have loved for another character to say, hey, you look just like you did in the 90s. What's up with that? It's been over 20, 30 years. Is that a big problem for me? No, I've watched enough superhero stuff to know, and she's an actress. So I know that she's not about to age up or whatever, but that is a thing that's happening and no one's addressing it. Just like no one's addressing, okay, I'm not going
so they didn't.
I know what you're gonna say right now. I know what you're gonna say right now.
I don't want to cause an argument, but
it's okay. Just say it. I know nobody addresses the
hand. The giant eternal hand that's coming up out of the ocean. And that's not the Eternals' fault. That's whatever writers are just not addressing it from other projects.
I agree with that.
Like, hey,
I totally 100% agree.
They did address it in a minuscule way in She-Hulk. But like that. So zooming past that relationship, I really feel like there wasn't enough time given to Miss Marvel and Carol to actually sit down and have some conversations about just why she loves her as much as she does. And like Carol like kind of tutoring her in a way. Like that is something I was looking forward to, and it was kind of swept under the rug. And there's even a part. I'm sorry if I'm being long winded, but there's even a part in the movie where they're trying to rescue the scrolls from their planet, right, or from whatever refugee planet that they're on. And Carol and them are filing people into the ship, and Miss Marvel's like, "Why are we leaving these people behind?" And Carol's like, "We got to go." And I thought that was a great opportunity for Miss Marvel to question, "Hey, what is the superhero thing?" Right? But it never comes up again, and I'm kind of like, "That's because she was literally crying and yelling about leaving these people behind." And next scene, she's eating popcorn and she's totally fine, right?
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that that just kind of was incomplete that really bothered me. However, oh wait, and the villain. We can talk about the villain later because I'm sure we can get topical at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last scene with Fiona Paris sacrificing herself and closing, that was freaking awesome. I love that. The stuff that happened right before that, didn't love it as much, but her doing that, them giving her the power and stuff like that, I really love that. I'm not talking about the post-credit scene. I'm talking about just the closing of the thing itself. I'm like, you're a hero. Like
after the quote unquote fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know you mentioned just real quick the opening act not really working for you that well.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that thought that first fight was better than the ending fight though? Like when they were accidentally switching powers. Like I love that entire fight scene.
Like in the Kamala's house.
Yes, in the house.
Yeah, I think that was
that
one
was
of
fantastic.
At least for me, that was compared to what we had after. I think that was one of the most creative, especially, and it was fun. The only problem, it happens way too fast. Like I don't know who shot this, but there is one thing I didn't like about the movie. There is not really a memorable fighting scene, and that kind of sucks. You have Captain Marvel, dude. You have Captain freaking Marvel, like. But I think like the one in the singing planet, like where Kamala was fighting, I think that actually her fighting was actually pretty nice. Was a bit better, but yeah,
I hated it.
You hated it, but I thought it was better than what we had in the rest of the movie.
The scarf thing didn't work for me. And
that was weird.
Yeah. Part of the reason why the scarf thing didn't work for me is because the prince or the king, he's like, just use your scarf, and then she goes into fighting with her scarf. I'm like, has this ever happened before? Like, have you ever fought with this thing before? Like, even if they would have said, hey, this scarf is part of your adornment, I gave it to you because it's a weapon and means something or something like that, blah 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 blah. But it's like, use the scarf. It's like, use the scarf. Like, what does that even mean? So yeah, that kind of bothered me as well.
I understand that one. Yeah,
the scarf was weird. Yeah, the scarf was
one of those.
Weird.
I feel like was an editing choice. Like maybe there was more to that before, and they just kind of cut it out when they were doing cuts and stuff.
Yeah,
like, there was a lot of those moments in this movie.
This is my last thing because I know I have to let other people talk because I can dump. It should have been 30 minutes longer. If it was 30 minutes longer and all those things were able to breathe, then I think I would have enjoyed this movie a lot more because it would have been able to put all that context in. It's very similar to, if you guys saw Batman v Superman in the theater versus Batman v Superman the Ultimate Edition, it's two different movies essentially. So and
they cut things from that theatrical that should have been there to help you understand what was happening.
Exactly. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm going to touch on a couple things because some of the things you talked about I did address in my review, and one of those being, my mind just went blank.
It happens to me all the time.
Careful.
Erisham head gonna pop off again back behind me.
No, Erisham, come on. No, Erisham.
It went sideways.
He's a little judgy.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Erisham,
okay,
Eternals or the Marvels?
I would watch the Marvels 4,000 times before I watched Eternals again. Sorry.
Okay, good.
I was looking at my Marvels ranking. I'm looking at my letterbox right now. I actually have it ranked a little too low. There are several movies. I have my final three are the Marvels, Eternals, and Thor: Love and Thunder are my final three. It's better. The Marvels is better than Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 3, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, so I have to move it up to like 20. Looks like it's going to take the 26th spot. And I'll think about it going above Captain Marvel and Quantumania, which I have at 24 and 25. But yeah,
okay, interesting.
so-
about that. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, DJ, cut you. Go ahead.
No, you're good because I can't even remember what I was going to say before that.
I'm sorry about that.
I know there were some things as you were talking. I was thinking, yeah, I talked about that.
Yeah, I talked to
You were
you.
talking. Well, you were talking about the opening scene. Remember, like the first
Mhm.
Yeah,
fighting
so
scene.
I did bring up that opening scene. Like I thought it was kind of cool how that at first it really showed they didn't know what was happening to themselves, but
Yeah.
as they kind of like kept doing it, they kind of got better with their fight as the fight went on, and I thought that was kind of a cool build up as they were going, and to where, and honestly, I thought Kamala during that was cooler looking fighting than she was in her own show. I mean, actually using her powers more and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can see where you're saying with the
Scarf?
scarf thing.
Yeah.
Like that didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, that was a bit random.
But even that fight, as it went further, and she did just start using her powers eventually, I thought it got better.
Yeah.
The fight scene during that once that part happened.
I think someone told me that she wasn't using her powers because she didn't want to accidentally switch with the others, which is totally fine.
Yeah, that
But
was the
that's
point.
what she was doing.
In my opinion, either write something different or give her something better than a scarf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody
Now,
else
there
has
was
spears and
something
swords.
with her
She has a
character that I did have a problem with.
What's that?
They didn't do enough to explain what part of her powers came from the bangle and what parts are her own powers. Especially from
agree.
a non-Disney Plus watcher that didn't hear the comments of, "Oh, you have a mutation." Like, because people
Right.
watching, they think that her powers are all that bangle, but then once her bangle was off and she was still able to reach out and grab them and pull them in.
Yeah.
With no,
I know.
And now
I'm-
she has like the
how many
two
people-
bangles. So
how many people are watching when she had no bangles using a power and wondering, wait,
Yeah.
does she have powers without it? Like, because they didn't
Exactly.
really explain it very well in that. So that was
Yeah.
my one major issue with Kamala. Because,
It was-
like you said, I took the scarf thing as she's trying not to use her real powers. So
right.
that one didn't bother me as much as just the blatant not explaining why she's using powers for someone that doesn't know.
They did say that in the show that the bangle activated her powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, it really seems like she needs that bangle to use her powers. So it's like it's kind of they didn't
So
do
that she
enough.
was adjusting or figuring it out without it.
Right.
yeah.
And another thing on the bangle, I thought that storyline, like leading to her finding the bangle, like in whatever capacity, not even this movie, but whatever capacity, would have been much better than I found it on the moon and something.
Yeah.
Like
That was
connected to my grandma and my
very
lineage,
convenient.
It's great. Connected to some rock on the moon is not as fun. You know what I mean? It's not as impactful. And then continuity error. I don't even know if this is a continuity error. She wasn't wearing the second bangle in the last scene of the movie. So I'm like,
didn't Captain Marvel have it on?
I don't know.
No.
Did she
I
not?
don't remember.
I thought at the
Good
very
question.
end of the movie that they each had a bangle on. Is what I
I remember that Miss Marvel had both of the bangles like at.
she
like
did at
the
one
end.
point when
put,
she did
she
the
put both. Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
at the very after that, at the end of the movie, I was thinking that Miss Marvel still had one, and I thought Captain Marvel had the other one on.
I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, but even if that was the case, I would have still been like,
Why?
why doesn't Miss Marvel have both bangles? Like this is a
Well,
major plot
I mean,
line.
Thinking it is because throughout the final fight, like you see, both bangles can be very dangerous. Like that's
Yeah.
a lot of power for one person to have. Like I feel like maybe they're separating them, and that's my own speculation. They're not telling me that in the movie.
Right.
I mean, I'm just speculating. Well, maybe it's just too powerful for her to keep all the time, so they're separating them.
And honestly, like I've always had this rule when it comes to movies in general. If the audience has to explain away your plot, you didn't do a good job explaining it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah.
But yeah,
That's
and by the way, I'm not here to crap on anybody's experience. If you guys loved it, I love that you loved it. There are definitely parts of it I enjoyed.
We're here to talk about all of it, what the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So we want to dive into all of those things. Absolutely.
There's also something that really bothered me, which was so, and maybe you guys can explain this to me because I could have missed it. I'm very capable of missing things. Old girl, like the villain, she goes to use both bangles. She explodes. Kamala goes to use both bangles. She doesn't. Is it explained at all what happens?
No, that's
there?
the problem. No, that's the thing. It's not explained.
Again, that's another assumption is because of her already having that mutant gene that allows her to use the bangles.
Yeah,
anyway in the way that she does.
Like honestly,
Because-
for me, like how I proceed about this is just again assuming, right? I'm just like, yeah, like you said, like the bangle awakened her powers, and I think she
Yeah.
absorbed it. That's what I'm saying. Like probably she's absorbing those powers, because that's her mutation.
Like
But
it works with
they
her
have to
mutation.
explain it to you. Like they can't just leave it to you like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of doesn't make any sense because Dar-Ben, she literally
That's
Thank you.
disintegrated. Like dude, like Dar-Ben, like oh my god, Dar-Ben, like.
I can't remember her name. Like,
Honestly, we could have.
I'm glad you said
but
it.
seriously, like we could have had a great villain, and they scrapped this. Like, shit, man.
All the ingredients
upset
for
about
a really
that.
good villain was there.
Yeah.
But they just
I will say it's kind of cool that Tom Hiddleston's fiance got a movie come out the same day as his finale of his show.
that is really cool.
Yeah, I know that's
kinda
really cool. But at the same time, that sucks too. Why would you put Loki's finale with the Marvels? Like, why? Like, who thought about
I say that earlier, and I was like, "Yeah, I get to watch the Marvels and Loki tonight." This is like before the movie. It's like,
Yeah.
double dip, because I was seeing it at like 5:45 p.m. like my time. So I was excited to go see it and then come home and watch Loki.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't work. Like I remember they were trying to do the same thing with Hawkeye and Spider-Man No Way Home. Like you had Kingpin in Hawkeye, and then you had No Way Home. But if I remember correctly, Hawkeye came the Tuesdays or Wednesdays, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. The other thing
No Way Home
with that is kind of, and I know this is kind of a cop out to that complaint, but movies, the way that studios still market movies is that they come out on Friday, but
Yeah.
So technically, to them, it came out the next day. But I go to see movies every Thursday because I don't want to be spoiled. But yeah.
I'm gonna show Chelsea Smith says such a great movie. My wife really enjoyed this movie, and I'll say the other couples, other people we were with, also all come out of that movie liking it even more than I did.
I'm glad.
And I think part of that was the theatrical experience we had at our theater because we actually I know a lot of people are saying they didn't have a very packed theater. We had a pretty packed theater at ours.
My theater had a lot of people in it,
and every joke throughout that movie and the Flurkin scene, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard so much laughter in a theater in a very long time. Like this movie had a lot of people cracking up, and I think that really helped with the people I was with their enjoyment of the movie, just having that experience with the people around them. So maybe that's also a part of my likeness of this movie is because I had a great experience at the theater with it. So
you notice I didn't name that as one of my negatives. I had a great time with the Perkins.
Yeah. And then Zach Tech had a comment in here. Make sure to like the video. Thank you for that, man.
Have I liked
it? So, all right, I'm going to go back just a little bit. We talked about a little bit of the start of this movie. What did you guys think of Kamala's family being in this? Did you like that they were a part of this story? Did you think it was kind of shoehorned in? What were your feelings on that aspect?
I love Kamala's family. They were in far too much of this movie.
Okay.
Far too much. Even like.
So you think the opening scene with them was probably enough, and they could have not been a part of the rest of the story?
100%. There's no.
And then maybe the end of the movie or something had them come back.
Yeah, I have to calm down.
Okay.
But this is part of my Nick Fury issue. There's no way in hell Nick Fury is allowing these people up onto a spaceship that is a militarized
I hadn't thought of that.
spaceship. There's no reason. There's no way he's doing that. Whether if their mom said I need to be there, he's not getting punked by somebody's mom. But yeah, I love them. They're great. Like the brother's great, the mom's great, the dad's great. Hokaboo, like I have him as a screensaver on my phone, and I send it to people when I'm disappointed in them. I just give like the disappointed Hokaboo face. But yeah, which I'm mad that never turned into a meme. Yeah, I thought that they were in way too much of this movie. I think like at the final like scene, like towards like the last mission where she kind of regroups with her mom, that's cool. All the stuff with the spaceship, just
you know didn't need them there for that.
No, same for season 2. I want to see them again. I love these people, but yeah.
Jason, you feel that same way, or you?
Well, I feel even worse than that. I feel like there's other characters that shouldn't have been there. That's Nick Fury, as well as the Kamala family. I don't know what they didn't know what to do with Nick Fury. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like all of that, like Ken said, all of that space stuff. Honestly, you could have cut that. Like, I don't understand. Okay, I understand a little bit
So-
why he's there, but like, the Kamala family was there way too long. I know they were there for comedic purposes and everything, but at one point, I feel like they were just trying to write something because they needed the cons to be there, in that scene. And Nick Fury too. It was just like, okay, he had some great lines sometimes. I won't lie about that, but I was just like, damn, like Nick Fury, like seriously, is just like really sitting this one, and I'm like a bit like, yeah, I'm not sure about this, That was disappointing for me, like Nick Fury. So I think like Nick Fury as the cons were a bit too much in the movie. Like I would have cut a little bit of them too.
Let me talk a little bit about the Nick Fury things. I know you both had issues
Yeah.
with the Nick Fury stuff. To me, this was Captain Marvel Nick Fury. Like, this was the same personality he had in the Captain Marvel movie, not the same Nick Fury we've had every movie and show since. And I do wonder how much of that influence comes where maybe the miscommunication of whatever's been going on at Marvel the last several years, because this movie was shot before Secret Invasion. And I wonder how much they didn't know what to do with Nick Fury's character in this, and they wanted to include him because he was in the previous Captain Marvel movie, and they kind of just tried to force him to be similar to what he was there, or maybe it was an acting choice himself. He was kind of doing that, because that's really where I felt, because he was more quippy and more comedic in this, which is kind of what we had in that first Captain Marvel movie, and he's been more of a serious, like, I'm a bad A, I'm in charge since then, and then coming out of Secret Invasion, I mean, yeah, he kind of got rid of some of his anger at the end of the show, but he was still like a beat down old man by the time that show's over. So I just wonder how much of it is not understanding what to do with the character.
I think it went bad. Like this, even like the Marvels, for me, puts even like more that the Secret Invasion was just bad. His best friend got killed. Talos. We never addressed Talos, first of all.
Yeah.
We never addressed Gaia, like, and Nick Fury is just goofing around the whole time. Like, dude, your best friend got killed.
I'm very convinced the people that were making this had no idea what was being made with
Secret exactly. I know, but like,
I think, and I would venture to believe, because in like Disney Plus, they have like the movies and the shows like in timeline order. I would not be surprised if the Marvels happened before Secret Invasion.
Okay.
And they just released it in the opposite order, but that's confusing.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah.
But I remember Kevin Feige was saying that the Secret Invasion was the leading up to the Marvels. I mean, I would love if they switch because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I don't know about timeline. I just know which one was shot first. That's what I was thinking.
And the part that kind of like, man, I really don't want to be the guy who says everything wrong with the movie, but the part that also didn't make sense to me is if we're talking about Secret Invasion in relation to this, we're talking about a refugee camp where a bunch of Skrulls are, and apparently Captain Marvel found this place for them, but in Secret Invasion they couldn't find a place. So if this is after Secret Invasion, it's weird because Nick Fury's acting very the opposite of the way he acted in that show. And it
kind of seems like they're on New Asgard now, right?
Yeah, exactly. So now they're on New Asgard.
Which to me makes sense, by the way. Like I like that idea.
The reason why I don't like that idea is because the Skrulls have spent all this time trying to get off of Earth. So if you send them back to Earth, that's a problem. Yeah. And according to Secret Invasion, spoilers for Secret Invasion, they're being hunted by the president. So
that's a huge problem. Yeah,
what's happening here? So
all right, for the refugees, I heard for the refugees. So I saw the new rock stars. I forgot the name of the guy. He's really cool, actually. So actually, he pointed out that actually Talos does say when they went to this planet where there was the leader of the Skrulls, he did mention his name. He said either the Skrulls had two choices. Either they live with that guy, which some they didn't like because they like Gravik. So that's the Gravik part that was on Earth, and they were doing the Secret Invasion. So I guess that they kind of address it. But I mean, like, there's plenty of there's thousands of planets. Why didn't she bring the Skrulls to the Prince Yan, I believe it's his name. The singing. I mean, like I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't seem harmful. Like just
Right.
leave them a little piece. It's like Mandalorian. They gave a piece to Din Djarin in the planet to just live there with the. Like it's I don't know. Like I mean, I don't know how they wrote this. I don't know about politics like that, but
Yeah.
If
I don't
anything,
know.
like I think that is a major issue with the Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, Skrulls thing, the Skrulls thing in general. Because when you really consider the
Definitely
fact
some plot holes there.
that happened in what 95, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're going to find you a planet in 95. It is quite literally in this movie in the future from now. It's 2025 or something like that.
30
Yeah.
years.
30 years.
Yep.
There are how many? Like the Guardians could find them a planet in a heartbeat.
They could live in nowhere.
Yeah,
They could live in nowhere.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I don't know why they're doing this to these scroll characters. I'm talking about like the writers. I don't know why the writers are doing this to these scroll characters. But yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like in the second movie, like they're not important. The scrolls are really not important. And I thought like Captain Marvel introduced them. I thought they were going to be the Kree and the scrolls were going to be.
They would have been better off
Kree,
making this alien race not Skrulls and something else for this movie.
100% agree.
And it would have made a lot.
You
would have
avoid
fixed a lot
so
of
many
that.
questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was thinking a couple of things that you said earlier, and I finally remembered a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the things that I talked about in my lead up to this and my 5 things I'm excited for was that animosity between Carol and Monica, or Monica's animosity during WandaVision, where she's like kind of push offy a little bit, distant about the idea of Carol.
Yeah.
And going into this, that was one of the things I was excited about, to see what that conversation was going to be. And I did say in my review, it seemed very rushed. Like there was the problem for a split second, and then all of a sudden they literally hug it out, and it was done.
Yeah.
And that is one of the issues I did point out in my negatives of this movie. I wanted to address that. Like, I agree with you on that, Ken, because that was kind of a disappointment for me, because that's one of the things I was most excited to see was how that was going to play out. And then it was like, oh, that's it.
That's the thing. Like this movie, like you can feel so many voids in so many times. Like like there's, for example, remember when Monica and Miss Marvel were like they switched with Carol and they were with Dar-Ben, and out of like. So I don't know how fast Captain Marvel is. We know she's really fast, but she was on Earth in Kamala's place, and she went and she defended both of them. I'm like, whoa, that's like super stellar. But so I have someone, I have a contact, and that person told me that actually there was a storyline there where they cut, and that's what the thing with this movie. I feel like so many times there was a lot of cuts that made it rushed a lot of the movie. And like you said, this movie should have benefited from a 30 minutes minimum, like because so many things got cut, and like you feel like they just throw you what they thought it was okay, an okay movie, and you can feel it sometimes. Like you said, the Monica, that it was even interesting that Carol even visited Maria while Monica was already dusted.
Yeah,
that we never knew about that, and that was like for her it was even more shocking. She was like, "Yo, dude,
I actually like that."
That was
me too. I love that.
Something. Yeah, it was kind of cool to know that happened. I'm usually not one that is like, oh, the movie needs to be longer, that kind of thing. But this is definitely one of those times where you needed to flesh out more stuff in this. And not every movie has to be 2 hours, but this
I'm
one,
really wondering why
they
didn't.
Definitely needed to be longer.
Yeah. I'm really wondering why they didn't, because Marvel, the MCU has never had an issue with putting out.
I might have an
15 movie before.
I might have a T for that. So again, with my contact, we did talk about this before. Guy with his contacts. Yeah, I know. Actually, I did meet someone like here, and that person kind of works in Hollywood a little bit. Like, like sometimes we have. So sometimes I have some tea about that. But I know first, the Marvels was supposed to be a musical. Like that was the intention of Marvel. So that scene in Aladdin, I think that's the name, was supposed to be like a major part of the Marvels, and then they scrapped that because they thought it was too silly. So I'm actually glad that they did still keep that, because I know a lot of people, they really bothered, like people are singing, so they didn't like that. But so since they had to scrap that, I don't know what they did after, and that's why, like, I think whatever they did, I heard that they screen test poorly once again. So that's why they had to reshoot again, and they cut like I think it was a 1 month reshoot or something like that. So yeah, so I think like they went to probably 3 scripts, like. But the thing is, like, they shot those things, so that's why it costs a lot, and that's why like you see like pieces of what could have been those movies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, while we're talking about the singing planet, what were y'all's thoughts on that?
I loved it. I had a great time.
Loved it.
Yeah, when they came to the planet, I thought it was. I was really interested in seeing like what her diplomatic thing was. I knew that she was probably like married to somebody or something like that, and then was like, so I loved it, and there were parts of it I didn't like. Right, so I loved the concept and the idea of it. I just hated the fact that Kamala and Tiona Paris and or Monica Rambeau and Kamala and Monica Rambeau never sung on the planet. They never put them in the position to have that awkward comedy kind of thing. Because you would think, oh, they only communicate by singing, right? Yeah. And you was like, oh, this is easily a tee up to Kamala being a terrible singer and trying to being a teenager, be very excited.
Well, and we know from Miss Marvel that she's a huge Bollywood fan, so that could have been
right.
That could have been used.
Yeah,
I would imagine that Kamala would have been very excited to be on this new planet where she's meeting a prince and everybody's singing. They only talk about singing, and then for the music to stop when she starts singing because she sings so terribly. Like I would have loved to have seen that kind of thing. And hearing from you, Jason, that like part of it was supposed to be a musical. I actually like that idea. I think it's really fun, but because
I think in the trailer you can see a part where Kamala is actually dancing. Like we see her a bit moving, but like I think there's a scene where you can see her literally dancing. So
it's not in
it was supposed to be like I don't know if it was a Bollywood thing, but at least like it was supposed to be longer. So
that's definitely what it seemed like. It seemed like a Bollywood thing.
Yeah. So that kind of sucks about
That's what I've been saying on this scene. Like I feel like this is something that would have been right up my alley that I should have enjoyed, and I felt like they didn't go 100% into it. Like they fell back from it, and they didn't push themselves to just make it a thing when they were doing it. And they gave the prince doesn't have to sing; he can actually talk. And they gave the I don't know.
I did like that he's bilingual joke. That was
that was really funny. Yeah, that cracked me.
It just seemed very convenient the way it all kind of transpired. Where you're supposed to sing here, but we don't really have to.
Yeah, they didn't commit to the concept.
Yeah, they didn't commit exactly.
That's the problem. Like
on the planet.
That was the thing. Yeah, like they have to commit. Like okay, I understand that you don't want people to commit for the whole movie singing. Because that at one point it turns out to be corny. It depends what you want to do. But like if you have the concept, which I respect, like just do it really properly, like. And also, I love the Brie Larson Disney princess. Like I know a lot of people hated that part. I thought it was nice. The dress.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Taking
her wardrobe change makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because she's able to do the little thing.
Yeah, she's able to do that.
I forgot she's able to do that. But yeah,
she's able to do that.
The other thing, this is the nittiest of nitpicks. But when they were going into battle, they were about to fight against Darpan and her crew. They let out like a battle cry, and I was like, they're not going to let out like a battle sing. Like why aren't these people singing? Like you told me that they all communicate by singing, and I think the only person I really heard sing is the prince, and then like one like moment of like the background people singing, and that's it. They did not commit to it at all. So. Yeah, when they were like, they all had their spears and other things like that, or I think they actually had guns. When they all had spears and guns and stuff like that, and they let out a battle cry, I was like, why didn't someone just like hit a crazy note right there?
Yeah.
So, let's go to battle.
Exactly. Yeah.
DJ, pass me the gun.
Yes.
This is going into a short, just letting you know.
Cool. Yeah. I wanted you guys to do that too. Like, hey, Kenny, do that Aladdin impression. DJ, do that Aladdin impression. I don't even know if it's Aladdin, by the way.
Oh, you guys, I'll shut this whole thing down. My voice will disrupt the atmosphere.
I don't think I've got much vocals left. We did practice for our Christmas program singing.
Oh, nice. That's right. DJ can actually sing.
Yeah,
Jake, were you aware?
And I'd like to warm my voice up earlier today already. So
I almost choked with water. Sorry, what?
Jason, were you aware that DJ's wedding was a musical?
No, what?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
was-
okay,
was
DJ.
our,
Okay,
our
okay.
entire wedding. We had songs from musicals and we performed them ourselves during the wedding. Yeah,
Wow,
that is
that's
true.
really cool, man.
It's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
I
man.
actually sung. My wife was walking down the aisle, and I sung "A Million Dreams" from Greatest Showman as she walked down the aisle.
Shit, man.
That's amazing.
I mean, DJ,
If I
don't
could
start
sing,
now
I would.
because
Yeah. God didn't.
I'm
God
gonna
didn't
melt,
allow
bro.
me to sing.
Yeah,
Yeah, God didn't allow me to sing because with my personality, I'd be singing all the time and be annoying people.
I do that. I do that. At home, for
I
sure.
like to. I love to sing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes I love to sing. You know, like you put your when you don't want to study, you put your headphones and everything is so interesting, and then you start singing everything that you remember from your
Yeah,
high school
Mhm.
era until like everything just to skip studying. You know,
yeah.
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what I love.
I'm barely talking tonight, so you don't want me to try to sing tonight. We did like 2 hours of
Yeah.
singing, practicing for that at church earlier today. So
No, it's okay. It's okay. No
I'm,
worries.
this stream almost didn't even happen because my voice was not feeling it. So
Yeah, man.
you're getting what you get out of me tonight.
I hear that.
All right. So the other slightly controversial scene. Oh, well, wait. Before we get off of that singing planet,
Mhm.
they changed outfits while they were on that planet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They got new costumes.
Oh yeah.
I didn't mind Miss Marvel's.
Uh-huh.
I didn't like either of the other two.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the costumes?
No, I thought the one with for Monica Rambeau was, I don't know, kind of, with all the respect, kind of looks a bit cheap. I'm not. I don't want to be mean. And the one for Brie looks CG. The one with Miss Marvel was actually
Power
okay.
Rangers, and I very much feel like that with Monica's. It's like that's a Power Rangers
So
outfit.
Yeah.
Monica's. You're trying to be careful what I say here.
Okay.
There are certain things emphasized that I was paying more attention to than others.
Okay,
And I was just kind of like, this is a great costume. So
Yeah, for that's
I
a
will
great
leave it at
costume.
you know what's funny? Kamala's is the one I didn't like.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay.
I like Kamala's costume from the show. This
Yeah.
one felt very like, ma'am, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh,
Hang on.
he's hyped for. He wants to talk about the Flurkins. Huh?
She was
Wants to talk about the
literally,
Flurkins.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if this girl was a flirkin. She was walking on my keyboard, so I had to move her before she. Yes, you. Yeah, Kamala.
What did you think of this scene?
Because I really liked her one from the show. That's number one, and number two, the one from the show was supposed to mean something to her, right?
Yeah.
Her mom made that, her mom made that with the scarf.
That's
That was supposed to be important, but yeah, this one, like I'm looking at it actually on our background.
Yeah,
and I'm not the fashion police, but I kind of hate the S, like the way it's.
I hate the boots.
So
Like I thought it was really cool with the sneakers.
her and Captain Marvel both went big with their emblem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, the Captain Marvel one didn't work at all. Like I preferred her costume earlier in the movie. Like
Yeah,
go back
it
to
was
that.
way better.
Right.
Because this one was just like, why is that thing like covering your whole body instead of just on your chest? And
Yeah. I
it looked weird.
Miss Marvel's costume I wasn't a fan of. I'm a fan of her original costume, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan of her in general because she's dope. The actress is
Yeah. Kamala Khan was.
Yeah. So much so I actually want to see her in some other things. Like I definitely want her to continue to be Miss Marvel, but I'm really interested in seeing her play other roles too.
Oh man, I tell you what, when she said, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," automatic favorite MCU character. She just passed Steve Rogers for me as my favorite MCU character.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm like, you quote my favorite movie of all time, you got me.
Captain Mike.
All right, so I'm going to get in trouble with DJ right now. 2 questions. One, what movie is that from?
Dead Poet Society.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
That puts
And 2, I had the same exact response that Monica Rambeau had when she turned around and just looked at her like, if you don't be quiet, like.
Well, so, but she wasn't given that look as a, why did you say that line? It was more of a, are you really that much of a fangirl? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because,
Yes, and I was like,
Yeah.
hey,
but I thought it was a genius use of the line because, of course, that's from that movie where
Yeah.
and the people that have seen the movie know, they're Robin Williams standing up on the desk and Captain, my Captain,
Yeah,
he's
that was
giving
great. Yeah,
that
that
big
was great.
speech,
Yeah.
one of the best speeches, in
I gotta
cinematic
see that
history.
movie, man. You told me so much about it.
It's
And,
really good, man. I watched
for her
it
to,
like in 2018. Wow, man, I almost cried. I think it was
it's
really
fantastic.
good, man.
For her to put Captain Marvel on that same pedestal, because that's literally what Robin Williams is in that movie. He's on a pedestal doing that speech. Like, to me, that's like, oh, that's how much she likes this character. Like, she likes Carol Danvers, and that's so. To me, that was kind of special for her to do that. But yeah, I understand the Monica thing where she's just like rolling her eyes, like, really.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, I remember. By the way, sorry to cut you. I remembered something because, like, I know we're gonna go to the Flurkins, but I love the training montage. I think it was Kenny.
I did too.
About the training montage.
It's nice to see.
It was nice to see that. That was really fun.
So many times characters don't develop powers until like 3 seconds before, and you wonder how they figured it out and how to use those powers. And here, at least, they're like, "Oh, we actually trained for it. It just led to nothing."
It was really fun to see the three of them together like that. Like, it was really fun. Seriously.
That was some of the best character building they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really fun, man.
I just felt like all that training didn't lead to a very exciting fight scene at the end for having that training.
Well, I thought the training scene was a lot of fun, and I had a great time with it. Mm-hmm. They just didn't do any fighting, so I was kind of like,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
it was like for nothing, but it was still fun to see.
No, they're trying to synchronize the switching, which I think is a real, like, for them to like, hey, we got to figure this out because we can't just not use our powers for the rest of the movie. So I thought that was really cool. Kamala, like, you can jump rope, girl. Just get in there, like, just hop in. I'm glad she probably figured it out because she was so scared.
All right, let's go on to the Flarkins since we brought them up a few times and we hadn't talked about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
My theater was enamored with laughs. I could barely hear the screen because how much laughter was going on. Did you guys have a similar experience, or was it just bad to you, or what did you think?
Loved it. Loved every moment of it. I loved, like, it was kind of like, I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong, but the Gremlins kind of thing, where they're just kind of like, I think it's Gremlins too, where the eggs and stuff like that are everywhere. No one knows what's going on. I thought that was really cool, and I love the fact it was like, what the hell is going on? Okay, so that's the positive of it. Oh yeah, and the moment that Goose had all those babies, I was like, that's how they're going to get off the ship. And I was very excited about that. And it was fun. I love seeing the fact that people were running away from the Flurkins, trying to get off the ship.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that it was something that didn't, in general, need to be in the movie. Like, that, the whole space station thing didn't need to be in the movie. But that scene was great. So I don't know if that dichotomy works.
I got you.
But,
I get what you're saying.
I am mixed about that. I'm mixed about that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, the surprise effect was actually nice. To see this, it's really goofy. It's not necessary, but it's really goofy and it's fun. But just script wise, it didn't make any sense. Like, I was just like, dude, this is. First of all, like I said, like you can, like, the space station, I was getting tired of seeing the space station. We never. I mean,
they didn't impact the movie at all, did they?
Yeah, and also, like, Goose, I mean, we never even knew there was other Flurkins. I mean, like, we don't need to see, like, the whole process, but it was just like, I don't know, like, it would have been cool to get a little bit of more of Goose, like, it's just, we see once Goose with Captain Marvel, like, flying, like, that
was great.
Yeah,
it's
that was
weird
really
this
nice.
is the first children Goose has had since, like, the 90s, because apparently this is something that Fury wasn't aware of when he saw the eggs.
Yeah,
so, Goose is, like, really, she's really
took 30 years to have children. Like,
also, Goose is still alive.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she's an alien, so that doesn't
she's
count.
an
A
alien,
little bit different, probably. My wife actually noticed and pointed out when Goose threw up, she's like, "Oh, Goose is pregnant." Like, when she threw up, and Nick Fury's like, "Oh, must have ate too much," or whatever it was he said there. My wife goes, "Is she pregnant?" That's what she was thinking. And then a little while later, it actually happens, and I'm like, "What?" Like,
Yeah,
So,
That's a great
throw
guess.
that
Like,
out there.
yeah, that's a really
that didn't
good
even cross my mind. I thought
Me
Goose
neither.
was
It
being
wouldn't have been
greedy.
Me
She
neither.
said
Yeah,
it.
me neither. And I
Must
can't
be a
believe that
woman's
because
intuition
even and I can't believe it didn't cross our mind because even Kamala's mom, Miss Muniba, I think she was
Yeah.
telling Nick Fury like, "Hey, your cat got a bit bigger." You know, I'm like,
Oh.
how didn't we figure that out? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's throwing, she
Those
got
hints were there.
bigger. She's not like she's mostly staying in the place. I'm like, yeah, true. Oh my
Not to
God.
bring the vibe down, but the reason why we didn't notice is because the movie's too damn fast.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Like I said, we
Spend
didn't
enough
get
time
any
on those
moment really
elements
with
to-
Goose. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't get a lot of moment with Goose. It's like Goose is in the first shot with Captain Marvel. I think she was also with Miss Marvel. You know, when they were swapping, and then we just see a Goose pregnant, and that's about it. I'm like, dude, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
like
like Goose
I-
had an entire arc in this movie that was kind of cut out.
probably yes.
Why is it that
probably.
Goose was able to teleport with them when they were switching bodies? By the way, how was that?
Maybe because they were holding Goose. I don't know.
Oh
I
wait,
don't
yeah,
know.
were they holding Goose when they?
I know Kamala was
is that-
holding Goose. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
well, you know, if you're
Still
holding
said,
it.
wouldn't Goose just be dropped in midair when they switch? Like, I don't-
I would believe that. Yeah, but no.
Well, probably not. And here's the reason why I say that.
okay.
Because if your clothes go
curious.
with you and they're attached to you, if
Oh,
you're
yeah,
holding
yeah.
something that probably is coming with you too.
Yeah,
So I'm just
yeah.
thinking too
Because
far
remember the
to the-
guards. Remember the guards in the planet of the skulls. They came to the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that happened too.
So,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah,
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 yeah.
You're right about that.
yeah,
Interesting.
they were.
Okay.
But yeah,
So the
love
movie is
Goose.
smart. The
I've
movie
always
did
loved
answer
Goose.
that.
Have you guys seen the funny meme people have been put out about like they recasted Goose because it's a different looking cat?
Yes, I didn't
isn't
even notice.
it because the cat
Somebody
died?
said that in my comments too, and I was like, I didn't even
Yeah,
notice.
it's
Yeah.
a different cat. It's Reggie apparently, but is it because what the cat died or something, or just they just
I mean, I
recast-
don't know. I'm not going to put it past you. That cat just might not be real at all.
Yeah.
It
No,
might just be
it-
completely
It's changed
CGI.
No, it's two. No. So it's two real cats,
Okay.
but they don't. They're never with Brie Larson because she's extremely allergic to cats. So
Oh, that's
every time,
hilarious.
so they film the cat alone and they film Brie alone, and then they put
Wow.
it together.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because
funny.
she's extremely allergic to cats. So
I love the cat being on Carol's shoulder when she was.
that was
flying.
really fun. Yeah,
That was fun.
yeah, that was really cool.
And
yeah.
why wouldn't you bring Goose with you on a mission? You can literally eat everything.
Yeah, that's true.
hmm
True. Okay.
Yeah.
What else we not talked about yet?
We
No.
haven't really talked about the villain at all.
Okay, let's jump
Oh
on the
yeah,
villain.
yeah,
Yeah.
the villain. Yeah.
That's because the villain really didn't have a whole lot to talk about with.
No, but for me it sucks. No, but for me it sucks because, like I said, I love what they did with the premise of the villain, like the backstory of the villain, like
Yeah.
But again, it was
I want
everything
that
was
movie,
cut.
by the way.
You want the what?
I want that
What?
movie, by the way. I want to see the movie where Captain Marvel goes and destroys the place and seeing that villain rise.
Yeah, like
I want to see all that.
like like it had like repercussions and like causality, and
Mhm.
she just wanted her people to live, Hala, because Hala was completely in the civil war, they didn't have any son left and things like that. So the villain could have been something better, but it's like the premise of the villain, her motivations, everything was great, but it feels, first of all, they rushed it and just they
Yeah.
throw up that villain and bye-bye. We're never gonna talk about her.
One note
We
from now.
barely know her name.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that you already said that the villain was poorly executed. I think I mentioned in my review that I liked
Weak
everything that the villain was trying to do, and even the reason why she was trying to do it. My issue was, just like the first act, we are getting all this stuff just happening, and we don't find out until I think like either the middle or the final third of the movie what the hell she actually wants and where her problem is. And the Annihilator thing would have been great if you opened the movie up with Carol. If you open the movie up with Carol destroying the Supreme Intelligence, and you spend more than 5 seconds on it, and it's all this thing, and you see, like, imagine if you open this movie with a scene of Carol going to destroy the Supreme Intelligence, telling us what year she did that, by the way, too, and then just running through. I see I see that hand, DJ.
Yeah, well, because I actually heard that is what the original opening for this movie was going to be, and they changed it and put it further back because they didn't like the way it turned out with that. And I think that was a mistake to change that if that is the case.
Yeah, because
apparently it was because they tested poorly with
the
audience.
rest of the movie.
The thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but even I don't know. Maybe if it tests bad with the audience, I don't know. I don't know I don't know how to like.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Yeah, like if it did test bad with the audience and they decided to make a change, I can't really fault them for it necessarily. But I feel like the solution would be make that scene better instead of move it back. If that was indeed the case. But for me, it's kind of if you open up with Carol going to Hala, confronting the Supreme Intelligence, just like she said, like literally like a 5 to 10 minutes, like a 10-minute scene of this happening, her having to fight through all these people, actually have to spend some time fighting the Supreme Intelligence because according to Captain Marvel, the first movie, this person is very powerful. They're the person behind the curtain, they're the Wizard of Oz, and she just goes there, taps it on the shoulder, it dies, and then like she pushes Darpan over, destroys the sun for some reason, and heads out. It's like, y'all, if you put that in the beginning and make it better than what I just said, if you put that in the beginning of the movie, now I know why Darpan is doing what she's doing. Now I know why the people are like in peril like that. What I don't know though is that so Carol destroyed their son and left those people there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she destroyed the sun or it's because the Supreme Intelligence like was like overpowering that. I don't know because there's a civil war that came because of that. But yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know if she destroyed their son or just the son died. I have no idea, honestly. That's, you see, that's something that I think we could have been explored more. You know? Like, yeah.
And it's weird that the sun just went dark instead of getting hotter and brighter, like we know that stars do.
Yeah.
When they die.
Can I also say this one last thing about it? Or I think this is actually adjacent to it. I know Carol's powerful. I just don't like the idea of her being able to power a sun by flying into the center of it. You gotta have some sort of limits. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like no, and it's stuff like that. Oh, I can fly into the sun and repower a sun. That's like, why are you struggling with anybody ever at any time?
We've got two of those characters now because Emilia Clarke's character can do it too, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Superman problem where you actually have to make the people or the things around them vulnerable in order to make the hero have a choice. Yeah. And Carol, you know, I think
I'd like to know what happened to Jude Law's character.
We've never seen
it because he didn't die in the first one. He was sent off to tell them, you know.
Yep. You know, like there was a deleted scene that he landed on the Grandmaster's planet, but it's a deleted scene. So,
okay,
that's what apparently happened.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's I don't know if they shot that, but I know like it was a deleted scene. It was a deleted plan, probably. So we don't know. We don't know if he was in the Grandmaster or if he just went to the Supreme Intelligence or Hala. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. But like I said, as far as the villain is concerned, you destroyed all of you destroyed the resources on or something. What you did led to the resources on this planet no longer being viable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around to different planets and steal their resources and bring it back to my planet to repower it. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't talk. Mm-hmm. That's great. That's a great motive and a great idea. It just
also I like the fact that she went to target Carol, like with the plans that she chose. Yeah, exactly. It's dear to her. I'm like, okay, I understand because you came because of you. We have a civil war. People are starving. One thing I don't like though, it's why do they do the same stuff? Like, so you have galaxies, and why is there always humans that speak English in every planet that you have? Like that kind of threw me a bit away. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm just like, hey, can I see some species? You know, like even in the Hala, they're supposed to be blue, right? The Kree. I see like some just regular humans there. I'm like, what? That's a bit like what?
Yeah. Guess they couldn't afford to paint.
Just like what's going on here? That kind of bothers me sometimes. Like what? Mm-hmm. But I know that's a little nitpick, but sometimes it does. I'm a bit like, yo, come on, like do the effort.
Yeah, and also to the point that you made earlier, Jason, about the spaceship not being necessary. I know I'm going back a little bit. I
Yeah.
think like Guardians of the Galaxy proved that you don't need to address Earth ever in order to have a good movie.
No.
But yeah, that's a sidebar of sidebars. But yeah,
Okay.
mhm.
All fair points.
Yeah.
We don't have any comments right now. Do you guys have anything else on this movie you'd like to talk about? Another subject we want to jump to?
Yeah,
End
I want to
credits.
jump. Yeah, I
Oh,
want to
you got
jump
something
on
else?
the. Yeah, I want to jump. Well, yeah, I was about to go that. Like the last 20 minutes that made me so happy that I love this movie. That I know this movie
Okay.
deserves a 7 out of 10, but I put it at 8 just because I smiled twice. My favorite character after Phase 3, which is Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. Shit, I saw that. I'm like, oh, sorry if I curse, but I'm like, oh my god. I was like, first of all, Kamala recreating Nick Fury, because I know this is really old.
That was
People
great.
maybe
That
don't
was
even
cool.
remember that. That was really cool to see Kate in there. Also, actually,
Yeah.
if you didn't hear it right, like she mentions Cassie Lang. So we
Yeah,
know
she does.
Young Avengers. We have
Yeah.
Cassie Lang as well as Kate and Miss Marvel. That was just like, dude,
And I actually
like,
heard that wrong initially. I was like, I thought that she said, "Do you know Iron Man has a daughter?" I don't know how I heard.
yeah,
Iron
yeah,
Man.
me too. I didn't know it was Ant-Man. Then I
Yeah.
heard Ant-Man.
Did
Like,
hear
oh,
Ant-Man.
okay.
You
But
heard
I
Iron
also-
Man too?
Oh, I heard Ant-Man.
Okay,
No,
cool.
I heard I heard something else. I'm like, oh, I don't know
Yeah.
what she said, but that like for me, like because one thing that I think you point, like one thing I wanted to point it out, like was like, yeah, I think one of you said like why Kamala loves so much Carol, because like you see on the opposite side, like Kate Bishop, we know why she loves so much Hawkeye. Like they show you, they explain to you, and you see like why she became like who she is today. You know, so. Yeah, thank you. Love the Hawkeye series. Me too. It's actually
Launch report. Thanks for joining the stream.
it's a decent one. Like, you know, it's not wow, but it's not bad either.
I think it's
So, love it.
underrated, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for
I
me,
mean,
it's
there's a
underrated.
lot of
yeah.
good stuff in that series.
Yeah, like I think the only thing I
Hawkeye's
don't
the
like
one
is
show
the
I don't
finale.
like.
Yeah.
For real?
For
But do you
real,
like
it's the
Kate Bishop?
one
But do you like
Disney
Kate
Plus show.
Bishop?
I
But do
like
you
the
like Kate
characters.
Yeah, me too. Like her.
But to me, I just had a lot of problems with that show.
Man,
And the
she's my
finale-
favorite character.
The finale
So-
really hurt me. That one was very
The
much like
finale
Secret,
wasn't great. Yeah.
Yeah,
that,
the finale
that
wasn't
one was very much like Secret Invasion, where the finale just kind of ruined it for me. By the
Oh, for
end.
me, Secret Invasion. Once they killed Talos, like for me, it was done. I'm like, dude. And the roadie stuff, I'm like, dude, it's even worse. Like, come on.
And to find out that they killed Talos and
Maria Hill. So
Maria
yeah, they
Hill.
killed Maria. I'm like, dude, why?
for no damn reason. Like,
Yeah.
because when the show ends, you're like, so wait, they died for nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. I still wasn't hating Secret Invasion though until the finale.
Yeah,
Hawkeye,
same.
I wasn't loving leading up to there. That Tracksuit Mafia stuff was.
I
just-
love the Tracksuit
I
Mafia.
couldn't stand it.
I find it funny,
Oh
but it's just I
God.
found them repetitive though. Like I was
Yeah.
glad
Bro.
to see them a little bit, but then it was like, okay,
They were just so boring to me.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
oh my god, look at him.
Tracksuit.
Because the
Mafia.
Tracksuit Mafia were obligated to be there because they were in the Hawkeye comic that
Yep.
Ken
Yeah.
Sparks has.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
and that's fine, but I just thought they weren't executed very well in the show.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I mean,
And,
look
and
at
part of that
Echo.
with the Echo, I didn't like Echo in the show either. And
Echo was poorly done. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the fault of the
Oh my
writers.
God, it's a Tracksuit Mafia.
that's cool. That's cool.
Let's.
We saw his bro. His one bro. Like they kept saying bro. Like
Yeah,
I
they kept
love the
saying
Tracksuit Mafia.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
I
so
didn't
that's
like
why
that. I didn't like the Kingpin having superpowers all of a sudden. Like I know maybe
I
it's
didn't
not
like
the same
his.
Kingpin.
I didn't like anything of Kingpin. Like his suit. Yeah,
Yeah.
his superpowers out of
I
nowhere.
didn't mind the
Also,
suit.
King,
Like I thought that was cool seeing the throwback as the comic accurate.
yeah,
line shirt and stuff.
it was
you know,
cool,
like-
but it's just like I don't know. This is not the Kingpin I'm used to. Also, Kate
Yeah.
became Kingpin. That was a bit weird. I'm like,
Which-
okay, Kate, I
which is
I
like-
love you a lot, but I'm like, why? Nah.
Mhm.
But then going to Echo trailer now, and Kingpin looks like his normal self again, and I'm like, what's happening here? Like,
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna find
inconsistent.
out.
Yeah,
We're gonna find out.
inconsistency. Yeah.
That's actually a really good conversation because I'm of two minds on this. I know that we weren't meant to go into this, but
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I said this earlier in the video I put out earlier today, which I won't mention. But the general consumer or the general audience are not comic book fans, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of things happen in comic books that just don't work for TV sometimes. Something that happens in comic books often is that a character will show up in somebody else's comic and they won't be completely different, but they'll be a lot more goofy, or they'll be a lot more serious.
Yeah.
Like Daredevil in the She-Hulk
She-Hulk,
comic I have is hilarious, and Daredevil in his own comic is the most depressed man in the world, right? So there's this thing where when you show up in different shows or different like people's different stories, they kind of take on another part of their personality. And I don't know if that works as well on television, because I think I was used to something like Kingpin being kind of like silly in a sense in Hawkeye, because when you go into different people's comics or different people's stories, you might have a different part of you being shown.
Makes sense.
But at the same time, I'm a comic book fan, and the general audience are not going to may or may not understand that, oh, this is a themed show, so they'll be acting different, which is exactly why I feel the way I do about Nick Fury. It's like, yo, like, be Nick Fury, So, yeah. Oh, there was something I wanted to say to your point about Nick Fury. I must be tired because I'm forgetting people's names. DJ.
Sure.
So, like, I know that you were talking about like he's similar to how he was in Captain Marvel. But I think like an important thing for me to remember when I consider like as a criticism for that is, for them in that time, that was 20, 30 years ago. So he's been through so much over that course of time that for him to just revert back to 1995 Nick Fury when he's been through all that, it's just I
think I was trying to make it make sense to Secret Invasion when I was saying that. Like I was trying to make it like, oh well, his attitude's changed again. Like he's reverting because of the events that he went through in Secret Invasion. So he's back to his happy life from when he first met his wife, But that still really doesn't work because he's still, like you said, gone through those experiences. So I think I was trying to make things work where I just for my own headcanon.
Yeah, but if you enjoyed the movie, which I know you did, if you guys enjoyed the movie, you guys should still enjoy the movie. Just all the this is the same thing.
You've seen all the things we've said negative about it as well.
Yeah,
So it's not like we're just like, oh, this movie is the greatest. Everyone should love it. Like, That's not what I'm saying.
This is the same thing we did with Ahsoka. I was like, oh man, this could have been better, and this could have been. But I loved Ahsoka. I really enjoyed it, and you didn't love Ahsoka. You enjoyed it to an extent,
I liked it.
right? You liked it. So it's kind of like that thing. Like everybody's going to have,
especially Sabine,
that they're going to give a pass to. Right.
I've made it through the first season of Rebels. I got to watch more. I still don't like Sabine right now.
What? And Rebels? Season 1, I remember I didn't like Ezra because he was annoying.
I don't like I don't like Ezra or Sabine in season 1. I'm just like, I watched the first season of Rebels, and I'm like, this is the same thoughts I had on these guys.
Wait, who's your favorite character so far? Far?
Definitely
Kanan.
Kanan's great. But those two characters that you mentioned specifically get way better as the seasons go on. But I will also agree. Ezra, I don't remember Sabine in the first season, but Ezra was so freaking annoying in the first season.
Hey, there's a great question put in here from Launch Report. Who do you think is going to lead the Young Avengers?
So in the comics, it's Kate Bishop. That makes sense. Here it seems it's gonna be Miss Marvel. Which I mean, after this movie, I could see her kind of leading a team. Like she was with two grown-up people. You're with Captain Marvel, like one of the strongest heroes in the universe. So I thought she'd really like. I didn't feel her short compared to she wasn't like this third wheel, this third person. She has nothing to do. Like she stepped up, she stepped up. So I could see her leading. But personally, I would love Kate Bishop because I would love to follow the comics. But maybe we could have this situation of Iron Man and Captain America, which Iron Man started everything, but the leaders were really Iron Man and Captain America. Maybe we could have that. I don't know.
Kind of some duo thing. Well, let's look at the characters that are in here to see if there's anybody we think that we could step above them. Ken, do you have on those two? Do you think there's one that stands above the other between Kate Bishop?
I would definitely rather have Kate Bishop. Yeah, I would definitely rather have Kate Bishop only because she's older and
23. She mentioned it.
Yeah, I feel like that she would be. I feel like she's much more mature than Kate Bishop. But Zach wants to get in here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Zach wants to curse me out.
If I can remember
I
how
always
to
think
do
Zach wants to
invite.
correct me.
There we go. Copy. Okay. And I'm going to send that to you in the Let's Work Together.
Well,
He
Zach,
knows what I'm talking about.
Zach attacks.
Yeah, Zach Attack.
Okay. Because I always think of a Mill or Goaler.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, Zach attack.
All right.
Yeah.
I just sent it to Discord, Zach.
Yeah,
Get
let's
you in
go,
here.
Zach.
Okay.
So yeah, before like Zach comes, like I was saying, I really love the fact that Kate was in the finale, like because she's my favorite character. And then yeah, you had the binary, which actually was really cool in the post-credit scene. And okay, so
cool.
I love seeing Beast from The Last Stand. I was like, oh, that's great, but why was he CG? Like, why was that even
Was he
necessary?
CG?
Yeah, it was CG because
Yeah,
like
he was.
he used to be practical. You know, it was like practical effects at the time.
I can
Now it was
finally
really
bring these
CG,
up
and I
now.
could see it was CG.
He looked good to me. I didn't know. I couldn't tell if he was CG or not.
I'm excited. Oh yeah, I'm
but
excited. Yeah,
I think the reason why he was CG is because it was Kelsey Grammer again, which was great because he was
Yeah.
great as Beast in that movie. even though
Yes,
that movie
absolutely.
was terrible.
Hey, man,
He was a bright spot, but I think the reason why it's CG and not makeup is because Kelsey Grammer doesn't want to put on all that makeup. And I don't blame him.
probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I
And
respect.
he's
Yeah.
aged.
Yeah,
He's aged in 20 years too. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's-
know. Like,
But this Beast
like,
looked
I
more like the
understand.
90s animated Beast to me. Like that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
loved about
that's
it. Like
it.
he had
Yeah.
more that
Yeah.
it had more that look.
yeah, that's why they
Oh
did
my
it CGI because they really wanted Beast to look like that '90s show. You know.
when he walked across that screen, I about died.
Yo,
Yeah.
everybody was screaming in my theater, dude. Like, I think the scream was a little bit like almost as equal, but okay, maybe less. But it reminded me of Spider-Man: No Way Home when people saw Toby and Andrew. Like, of course, it's not on the same level, but maybe put it like 10% less. But like that scream was whoa! I was like, whoa, it's Beast! What the hell? Everybody was like, yeah, because also the X-Men are gonna come. So I'm like,
Yeah. Can I
that's
tell you
amazing.
the feeling that it gave me?
Yeah.
So it reminded me of how I felt when Mr. Fantastic showed up in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Because
Okay.
I was not expecting, like, I know that they showed, for some stupid reason, they showed Professor X in the second trailer. And I was like, y'all, I would have died in the theater if I didn't see that until I actually saw the movie. But even so, seeing Krasinski, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic sitting in that chair, like I think I missed a bunch of dialogue because I was just freaking out. Like,
For sure.
I had that same feeling of, oh my god. But if Patrick Stewart, and I didn't know this beforehand, if Patrick Stewart would have just rolled out in his yellow chair from the animated show, I would have fallen out.
It was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool. Yeah. Hey, also, I would love to take this time, like, to hey, I don't know if it's okay, DJ.
What's that?
Oh, I just wanted to I would like to take like a little bit of time because like I know like before Ken, what was going to come, like we talk about this, like the negativity and everything. I just wanted to say to everybody that Ken will be the last person to go with preconception hate to a movie. So like we are guys that we love movies, and as much as we love them, we also have to be sometimes critical and say like that we don't like some stuff because of course we're not gonna like everything.
Yeah.
And honestly, like because like so I heard your opinion, and I was just and now you're explaining it even better. I'm just like, but we had almost the same stuff. It's just that you and me and DJ, we loved it, we enjoyed it a bit more. But I'm like, dude, like exactly, like it's we have almost the same issues as you, So yeah,
we just overlooked more. Like things didn't bother us as much as it did.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't bother us as much, but it's not like. But yeah, we love people to know that Kenny will be like the last person to go like, oh yeah, when I hate this movie, I'm going to try and see every little detail that could flop this movie. No, man, come on. Like we know Kenny's not like that. And so
now,
Kenny, like, no. I respect what you said, and it was really fun to hear that.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And the Marvels is 10 times, well, I don't want to say 10 times, but the Marvels is better than this movie. But I also give a pass to Batman and Robin. Like, that movie is horrible, but it is the best Like I would put that movie on right now if I could because of Mr. Freeze's puns and Poison Baby
Will.
and and rubber lips. Like the Batman credit card. Like there's so much in that movie that's absolutely ridiculous. That
Yeah.
like
I
we all
think
have
it's
like
a bad
guilty
movie,
pleasures, you know.
I have so much fun with it.
It's like your guilty pleasure, you know. Like I think, good night.
9 more
You
minutes.
know, minutes. I think my
Like we all have
favorite
our
movie in the MCU is the second half of Thor: The Dark World. Like that, I think Thor: The Dark World isn't good or at all, but I will say the fight between Thor and the Dark Elf is pretty damn good. Like when they're falling through the worlds and Mjolnir is going through the different portals and stuff like that, and they're fighting it, and they even fighting like the tube as they call it in England. Like I thought that was a really great end fight to a really bad movie. Yeah.
Like we all have our guilty pleasures. Like my guilty pleasure of this year would be Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I know it's a terrible movie. I admit it's a terrible movie, but it's just I went with the fact that it was going to be garbage, but I wanted to have fun. I wanted to have some kills, and that's what I got. And actually, like it's so crazy to say, like the first 10 minutes, like that. I don't know if you saw that movie, but like that little intro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
I
saw
haven't
it,
seen
DJ?
it.
Yeah, I saw it.
So like that little intro, I was like, whoa, this is like promising to be actually better than I expected. And that was even they made it worse because I'm like, that promised me to be a good movie. Then I'm like, shit, it's not that great. But that was like a solid 8 out of 10 for me. And then I'm like, yeah, this is like a 4 out of 10. But it was a guilty pleasure. Like I still enjoyed it, although I know it's bad, you know.
You gotta
Cocaine
say-
Bear. I had a great time with Cocaine Bear.
Oh yeah, Cocaine Bear was fun.
So I want to talk a little bit more about those end credits. Talk about Beast. I actually heard about this like 5 months ago. And
really?
Yeah. There was another YouTuber that was talking that he had gotten some information, and I didn't quite believe it at the time. But as time got closer to it, I kind of started to believe it more. And then, of course, I had someone send me the video of them watching it on a screening somewhere, like a day or two before this happened. And then I saw another thumbnail like the day before on somebody that went to a Wednesday night screening. So everything was confirmed to me beforehand on the Beast stuff. And I think that kind of took me out of the excitement of it. But at the same time, I was excited to see what the people next to me were going to say, like my friends and stuff that were going. And I wore shorts and I wore my Beast socks. I sent Ken a picture of those socks.
Yeah.
And I had those on the whole time. And they looked over and I'm like, how did you predict that? You know, so that was kind of fun to have those for that. But.
So funnily enough, like after I saw the movie and everything like that, for whatever reason, the algorithm fed me John Campea talking about Beast possibly being in this movie, and it was from a month or so ago, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so glad that never actually popped up in my algorithm because I don't want to know anything. I don't even want to be hinted at anything. So
it's like just stuff with the Spider-Man things before that movie came out, you know.
Because you know what it is? It's the fact that if John Campea is like, hey, is this happening? I start to think, oh, you know what?
Because it's happened so many times when he has asked that.
Yeah. You remember when he showed like the pictures of the Spider-Man he got in trouble for? Yeah.
Yeah, he got on the stream next day. He's like, I'm sorry, I got it. But he shouldn't have ever said he got the phone call to take him down because that was like confirming it right there. Like when he said
that's true. Yeah. Because actually his argument was pretty solid. He said like, hey, somebody sent me this and I don't know if this is fake or not. So but also like, why would you post that then? Why would you post that then? Like if you don't know if you know it's fake,
watermark it.
Why would you watermark it? But I'm like, why would you post that? So
I still watch a show every day. So
like for example, I got the Namor I got a photo of Namor before the movie, so I knew Namor how he looked. I never showed that to anybody. First of all, because I don't want my source to be in trouble, and second, like because it was just for me. So I don't want to ruin that to someone. So I was just like, I'm just gonna keep it for myself. And then when the first trailer came, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, because my friend was like, hey, can I see it? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show it just to you, but on my phone. I'm not gonna send it to you because
It's like I know Ken mentioned Mr. Fantastic. I remember I saw the whole scene for that a week before that movie came out. I saw the entire Illuminati scene, saw how they died, the ones that died, all that stuff.
Really? That much?
Like
Okay.
I watched that entire scene in really low quality the
Oh
week
my
before,
God.
and my wife's like, "Why'd you even watch it? If you knew it was sent and you saw it, like, why even click on it and watch the video?" I said, "Because if I know it's there, I'm gonna see it. Like, I can't stop myself if it's right in front of me on my phone." It's like,
Oh man, no. Like
I'm
I
too
tried
curious.
to, like I
Too
tried to stay
curious.
away from social media, like or at least from those like spoilery stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I was surprised because the last trailer, the final trailer, I didn't watch it for the Marvels, but I've been hearing
Yeah.
like people were putting like the X-Men connection. So I'm like, I'm gonna skip that because I don't want to know that. But and that sucks because I know there's gonna be an X-Men reference. I didn't know Beast was
Yeah.
going to show up. That's
It's
for
like
sure.
in one of the
But I was
spots leading up to this movie, there was like
yeah.
the word "excited" was on one of them, and all the letters went away except for the X. In
Yeah.
one of the spots for this movie, and that kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
so I'm
well,
like, yeah, you're giving it,
there's a
but
hint.
that's why I was
Yeah.
genuinely surprised for Kate Bishop because that I didn't hear anything of it. Like I never, not even sourced nothing about it. The only thing I know is that was supposed to be another credit scene, but they decided just to put it together
At the end
instead
the
of
movie.
making 2 credit
Well,
scenes. Yeah.
let's go back to that a minute with this question this person sent in here.
Oh yeah.
Who do we have as Young Avengers right now? I mean, we've got the Kate, we've got Miss Marvel, and they mentioned Cassie Lang. So that's 3.
Do we consider Spider-Man? That could be a Young Avenger. Spider-Man.
I don't know if they'll use them there.
Yeah, I think that he's been on too many grown-up missions in order
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
I mean, once you fight Thanos, it's kind of like, you're not in
Yeah.
the junior varsity anymore.
So
But,
I know the Young Avengers were supposed to having Agatha, probably the kids of Wanda, Speed, and
Yep.
Wiccan. That's
Yep.
supposedly.
Are we gonna see
I know in the
Scar?
comics we have Hulking. Who?
Yeah, we're gonna see Scar, whatever his name is, Hulk's son.
I hope.
Oh God! I
Is
I
he
hope not.
really
introduced
hope
him as-
not.
Or at least give him
I mean,
a new haircut,
He,
please.
he
Yes.
came in at the end of She-Hulk. I mean, I feel like
Give him a
it's
new haircut.
character part
I
of
wouldn't
the-
mind if, but also I don't want Scar because it was supposed to be Hulkling in the comics, so I would actually prefer to have Hulkling than Scar.
I just wondered since we've already been introduced to Scar. If
Yeah.
we're gonna
I'd rather do like Amadeus Cho. Like, I feel like that would be.
Yeah, that would even be better. Yeah.
But
like I said, I'm just thinking of characters they've already introduced to us and already
Yeah.
shown us. And
Isaiah
there's
Bradley,
there's a Patriot. Bradley,
Patriot.
yeah.
He was in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
He could be a great leader
Yeah.
Brad,
of the team.
I
But
think
he's
we have
also not necessarily initiated or anything like that.
I don't know if he's going to be in the Young Avengers, like Joaquin Torres, like the new Falcon. Like he's kind of young. I don't know
No,
if
he's in the
I don't know,
military. Yeah,
I don't
know.
think he's young enough to be part of that team.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
So yeah, that's
I really
really
think
it.
Kate's going to be our elder statesman. I think Kate Bishop is
Yeah,
going to be.
Kate, yeah.
I'm concerned about the team.
Oh, America Chavez.
America
Yeah,
Chavez, yes.
That's a
America
good
Chavez.
one.
Which is another
Oh, and
reason
she-
I'm concerned about the
Speaking
team.
of, she's doing a great job on Dancing with the Stars. I got to throw that out there. I
Oh,
really
cool.
enjoyed watching her on
Yeah.
this season.
So I'm going to sound like one of those incels on the internet, and I do
Uh-oh.
not mean to.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to sound like it. I'm not being it. However, it does kind of like, man, 90% of this team is girls, which is
Yeah.
fine. But I'm like, okay, so we have Wiccan, we have
Speed.
and we have
America Chavez.
America Chavez. Not
Miss
to mention
Marvel.
Ironheart is another person. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
Ironheart, yeah.
Well, I mean, if they do use Scar since they introduced him in She-Hulk, if they do
Yeah.
use the Bradley kid,
Mhm.
is it
Bradley.
Patriot? Is that what
Yeah,
what do you call
Patriot,
it? Okay, if they use him,
mhm.
and then Wiccan and Speed, that's 4 guys.
yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
it, though.
not to say that they, and that's not to say that more girls and guys is a bad thing. I don't think that at all. I'm more annoyed by the potential annoyance of the internet
Yeah.
more than anything.
Yeah, yeah, I
So-
see what you're saying.
So
But also I think because like it's nice to balance them. Like I mean, like look at Barbie. Barbie made a $1 billion, and of course Margot Robbie has all the praise. But if you take out Ken, Ryan Gosling, I don't know if
Yeah.
that movie would have performed
Ryan
that well.
Gosling is the best part of
either.
that movie to me.
Because yeah, like they supported each other, you know.
Yeah.
And so many movies that had a female lead with a big supporting male character, they actually performed well. Wonder Woman, it was a
First Wonder Woman,
fantastic
yeah, that's
movie.
what I was just fixing to say.
Yeah, and they had Chris Pine, which was fantastic. Like he's not
Chris
stealing
Pine
her
is not as good of
spotlight.
a movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So
it doesn't
so, yeah,
mean
so-
it's because of him that it was a good movie, but it's not as good of a movie.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. Like he's not stealing the spotlight, but he's like
Right.
making that movie even better because like he and she like they balance each other. That was perfect. Like, so I mean, like I don't dislike the Marvels because it was three women. I don't dislike them.
Oh
But
no,
I
I thought they
also
were all
understand
great. I
that,
thought they were
some they say
fantastic.
like, yeah, me too. But also
Mhm.
I understand that some they say, oh, it would have been cool to throw like I don't know like a supporting male character like this stronger because I think
I
Nick
think that's
Sam
what they were trying to do with
I
Nick
don't
Fury.
think Nick Fury needed to be in this movie at all.
yeah me
You
personally
think
I
that's why
agree
they did
too.
it? You think that's why they did it though?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they wanted that big name, Sam
And
Jackson,
just
but
to
he
give it a
kind of
connection to the
didn't.
first movie, and
Mhm. I'm not even saying replace him with another male. I just really don't think he needed to be in. I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
I think that those three women would have been perfectly because he didn't even give them like a word of wisdom, like Nick
Yeah,
Fury
exactly.
really does. I just think that those three women could have carried this movie by themselves without.
Yeah, I agree totally. Yeah,
So
yeah, because
Uh,
even them figuring out what's going on with their powers, they told him what was going on. He's like, "Yeah, how do you
yeah,
put it? Like,
right.
makes sense. Or
yeah,
good,
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't. He had nothing to do with it.
Wait, is that coming? Does that?
I don't know. We're fixing to have to end this stream. It's getting pretty late, so I was kind of
Okay.
giving him time.
yeah,
But,
yeah. Me too. Yeah, yeah. For me, it's
but he-
almost midnight here.
But I sent him the link on
It's okay.
our Discord and an individual Discord. So and he never jumped on. So I'm not sure what was going on with that. But
But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's interesting that you brought that subject because yeah, it is true. Like sometimes like you want it to balance a little bit. You know, like at least that's how I feel sometimes too.
Well, let me just say it this way then. None
Yeah.
of the males that have been listed excite me at all.
okay.
Just
Yeah,
for
like
the
me
other
too.
Avengers.
yeah, because like Isaiah Bradley, he could be
Mhm.
cool, but
Could
when
be
we
cool.
saw him, he was just a kid, right? He's
Yeah,
in no way, shape, or form where you think, oh, that guy's going to become an Avenger if you weren't like initiated with the comics. Wiccan and Speed, they quite literally don't exist. And their mom is dead.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah,
They're gonna have to come from a different universe.
right or
Yeah.
some yeah,
Right.
and it is the multiverse saga, so that's totally
Yeah.
possible.
I
And
figure it will
other
be the
than
one
that-
on that, 8 whatever.
yeah.
and like you mentioned, Scar is just awful. He's not even like green enough. Like he's
No,
like
but he's supposed to be. No, but in the comics he's like gray. But even
Is he?
here he's not even gray. Yeah, Scar is like gray, but even here he's not even gray neither. He's like
To be fair, we haven't seen what his character's like yet in live
Yeah.
action. I mean, we have to see more of him, and maybe they rework his look a little bit for the next project we see. I mean, to be
But
fair, we gotta.
I think they definitely
Good.
do.
I would go even further that Ken said, like, honestly, the Young Avengers don't appeal to me. Aside of Miss Marvel and Kate, the others, like, I don't really care about her. Cassian Lang, I thought she was a weak link in the Ant-Man. Like, I don't dislike the actress.
Okay.
Just I thought it was a bit boring, like, to be honest.
See, I really
I
like that
feel
actress.
I didn't.
really
I
like
didn't
that
feel
actress.
that way. Yeah,
I'm sorry, what?
I said I've heard people say that about Cassie Lang and not enjoying her character. I never got that vibe. I never.
I don't know.
understood
Like,
that
it's just
she
like, I mean, like, I don't dislike her. It's just like, I didn't really, like, it's not, like, when they mentioned, oh, we're going to have Ant-Man's daughter, like, I didn't hype me. But when I saw Miss
Yeah.
Marvel and Kate, that hyped me because I'm like, oh, Miss Marvel is cool. Kate is amazing. So, America Chavez also, like, I was just like, okay, she's an okay character. Like, you know, like, that's the thing. I'm not even hyped for that. Like, those characters didn't really hype me enough. Yeah, like you said, Paige, we don't know nothing about him. He's just a kid.
right.
He doesn't have powers, so yeah, that's why like the Young Avengers, like I can't wait to see like them flesh them out a bit more. But for now, I'm just like whatever. Like okay,
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So, the Marvels. Last thoughts before we jump off here. I think we're gonna have to get going because I'm gonna have to get to bed in a minute. So.
yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Man.
Solid movie. I don't like the movie. I like everybody in the movie. But yeah, it's a miss for me, just in terms of like filmmaking, in general, and because of that, I wasn't able to enjoy it as much as I wanted to.
Jason.
For me, movie with some issues and some major issues, but overall, like I still think it's a movie that I can still enjoy and have a good time with it.
And for me, I've said it ad nauseum. This is a movie with some lows, but it's also got a really really great highs in it as well, and
Mhm.
it made it very enjoyable for me. I had a great time with it, but not without flaws. Dark Room, hey man, reach out to me on Discord or reach out to me on Instagram, somewhere like that. We'll definitely work out something to get you on one of these streams.
Yeah, man.
All right, and I think Ken, you've told them that before too, right?
Yeah.
Just get with us and we'll work it out. We just like to set it up ahead of time. I don't want to try to bring somebody in after I've already started the stream. It just makes it a little more difficult for me. So,
Yep.
And speaking of that, Zach Attack, I was more than happy to have you on tonight. I don't know after you messaged what happened if you just weren't able to, but we are going to have to jump off. So maybe we'll get you on next time to talk about some of your thoughts.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I hope so too, because he didn't even respond to me on my messages I sent. So
yeah, I sent him a message a couple minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll check in with him in a little bit and just see after we're done with the stream, just see what's going on with him. But anyway, before I go, I'm gonna give you guys each a chance to shout out your channel. Make sure you guys check out these guys' channel. If you like what they've got, make sure you subscribe to them because if you like one of their videos, I bet you'll like most of them. Ken, you want to go first?
Oh yeah. So I'm me. No. My name is Kenny Sparks. I'm part of. My name is Kenny Sparks. I'm running the Kenny Sparks channel. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, and video essays. I just released a video essay today called "State of the Franchise DCU." Actually, that was yesterday. But also today, I released my season 2 review of Loki, and season 2 review and season finale review of Loki, a show I really loved. So, with that being said, thank you so much. I'm dead. With that being said, thank you so much, DJ, for having me on. I know that you wanted to send a missile to my house, but I was able to avoid it and join the stream anyway, and I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I know you were kind of like worried about jumping on one of these streams, especially with some of but our comments have been pretty nice tonight. We actually hadn't had that many comments, so it hadn't been bad as far as that stuff goes. So I'm really glad for that. All right, Jason, go for it.
Wait, just give me a moment.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you a moment.
Because my headphone is going to die. All right. Sorry.
Oh,
All right.
Now he's ready. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
And here's Jason.
Hey everyone, how are you doing? So my name is Jason Entertainment. You can find me at Jason Entertainment 7122. Apparently, I don't know why, but that's how YouTube named my channel. So I do movie reviews. I sometimes talk about anime, and sometimes I cover some football. Which actually next week, I'm hoping and I'm doing my best. I have some stuff to do, but I'm doing my best to put the Asian qualifiers, my prediction for the World Cup 2026. And hopefully you'll have some reviews as well of movies that I've seen this week, actually. So, yeah, thank you so much, DJ, for having me. And if I forgot what I was about to say, but thank you so much, DJ, for having me. It's really fun to be here. And also it's really fun to be with Kenny. So thank you guys, man, for having me. Seriously.
And thank both of you guys for being on here tonight. It makes it a lot easier when I have people to talk about this stuff with. Makes it,
look at this guy.
Oh, look at here. All right, hang on. Before we jump off,
all right.
We have.
Yay!
If I can get him to come up here.
This one. There we go.
Oh, there we are. Hey guys.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I know I'm super late, but
hey.
Yeah, we're just fixing to end up, but hey, you're here. Let's let you talk just a little bit about your thoughts on the Marvels and some of these topics we talked about next. I know you've watched some of the streams. So.
Spoilers. So yeah.
Speaking of, what's up, Jason Entertainment? I think it's the first time we.
Yeah, I know. What's up, Zach? Yeah, I know. It's been the first time. So glad to meet you, man.
Glad to meet you. I'm gonna have you on my channel. We're gonna talk. What?
The movies that made us episode with Jason Entertainment.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about. That's coming soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's coming soon. Yeah. So the Marvels movie that is very flawed that I love, and I seem to love flawed things because I love the Eternals. People hate that movie for whatever reason.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't catch that, but yeah, okay.
You definitely knew. And the Marvels was exactly what I expected it to be. Because the trailers showcased it. The switching was dope as hell. The action sequences was dope as hell. The chemistry between the three of them was dope as hell. they didn't show much of villain in trailers. They didn't show much villain in the movie. So even though I didn't hate the villain, I don't think it's the worst villain of all time. Like some people, I think Malekith from Thor: Dark World is probably still the worst villain in the MCU. And maybe the guy from Black Widow. I don't even remember.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name.
But I understand her motivations. I think the performance was good for the time that she had. I didn't think she was a trash actor. I think she probably was better than the original Ronin. Yeah, I know. I don't think Ronin did all that much. But I think that the movie was just really, really fun. I know a lot of people was like, this is not what the MCU needed because it wasn't dark and gritty and super serious. I heard that so many times.
Really?
So from some of my favorite YouTubers, this is not what they needed right now. They needed a home run. They didn't need something fun. I'm like, what? You didn't need something fun?
That is a dumb criticism of a movie I don't like.
The problem here now is that every single entry in the MCU is this weight that everyone's putting on the film to be this life-changing thing, and that's just not fair. The movies were never like that. There's only few life-changing films in the MCU, and that'll be Avengers 1, Infinity War, Endgame. I think Black Panther would be up there.
Civil War probably.
And that's 5 films, and this we're at like 30. Like, come on. I think people need to relax. Criticize when you need to be criticized. Each film has flaws, but there's flawed films in phase 1, flawed films in phase 2, flawed films in phase 3. Why are we going so hard on these particular girls? And I specifically say that for a reason, because not Kenny, because I know him. I know his reasoning, and I've had conversations about other movies that I like, and he doesn't like, and I always understand his reasoning. So he's never jumbled to this. But other people, every time I talk about this, they always bring it back to them being women. And it's just like, why do you have
I have a family member that came to me about this movie, not going to watch it because of that.
Star Wars, like when same people who didn't like the Star Wars trilogy because of Daisy Ridley. And you think about this and you think about that, and it's like, I'm not watching Hawkeye. I hate She-Hulk. I hate this. It's just like there's a toxicity that's going on around female-led films that aren't for the male gaze. And I think that is a small percentage of what happened to the Marvels in terms of like the success of it. But in terms of just the creativity, I don't care about the box office. I just think that this had some of the best action sequences in the MCU. I think this had some of the best fun moments between characters that we've had. I think that's something we've been missing a lot in a lot of these phase 4s and phase 5 films, like that we had in other films with like fun moments between the characters, and then they go into the serious stuff. Like that training montage was so cute.
It was.
Flirkin moment was so cute, especially since Brie Larson's allergic to cats. So the fact that she put herself through that is amazing. And yeah, I just really love the film. It's not top tier MCU because it was too short. It should have been a 2-hour 30-minute film where they fleshed out the villain a little bit more. They spent a little bit more time on each interpersonal conflict. And we should have got a longer dance singing sequence, and also like Captain Marvel talking to her husband more. A little stuff like that could have elevated this movie to one of the best MCU films ever, but because they chopped it down to what we got into the hour and 45 minutes, it became this breezy, fun, non-offensive film that I think I can rewatch multiple times because Miss Marvel is such a freaking delight.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
Yeah,
Monica Rambeau being lit at that party was so fun. I was like, girl, you just mad serious science, bro, and now you over shaking your hips and wilding out. What's going on? Carol,
what party? What party? I feel like I'm forgetting
the singing thing. Like when she was watching Carol, she was just with the
okay
going. I was like, okay, we get her loose. And then just Carol being humanized.
I bet he liked that costume too.
I love how Kenny explained that costume.
Like,
look,
G-rated. But yeah,
I was knocking on the costume, and Ken made some very
How dare you?
appealing
Yeah.
points.
It was showing
about
them
the costume.
things. You know what I mean? It was showing
Yeah,
some
he was
things.
asking me like, "What do you think about the costume?" Like, I didn't like it. I was like,
No, I didn't like the material, how it looked, the
Right.
costume, but I never said I don't like Taylor Perry. Anyway,
How dare you, Jay?
the material.
anyway,
worked for me.
anyway.
The movies that made us with you have been canceled. No, I'm joking.
Oh, come on.
I kid, I joke. No, but yeah. That even that scene, like them getting their costumes, that should have been a little longer. You know, that should have been a big moment of Kamala getting a new suit. Like, oh my God, they destroyed my suit. What am I gonna do? Here's a new one, and I'm giving you a scarf that represents your culture that you can use as a weapon now. That moments like that should have been shown, and I feel like it probably was filmed, and we're gonna see it in the deleted scenes, and I'm just like, y'all could have made this movie 2.5 hours. Give me this stuff,
Man, if we get an hour worth of deleted scenes, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, I really feel like
why is this not here?
Yeah,
Just
I really
plug
feel like
them
they
into
should
the
do
movie.
the director's cut for sure.
This
I know
if
Marvel's
the
never
MCU
done
movie
that,
needed
but they should
director's
definitely do
cut,
that here. Yeah.
This is the one. This is the one that needed.
Hey,
I know there's
you know,
supposed to be huh?
hey, you know, one thing we kind of skipped. Like, did you get some Valkyrie and Captain Marvel romantic vibes?
1,000%. I thought
that.
they were gonna kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
I felt that too. Absolutely.
I didn't get
Well,
that vibe at all.
2 years ago, I think because it's in my head already. Because 2 years ago, Brie Larson and Tessa Thompson already said that they pushed to Kevin Feige to make them a couple in MCU.
Oh, okay.
Because the couple in the comics is not going to work. There's no way Brie Larson
Yeah.
and Rhodey is
Cheadle.
going to work because of the age difference. They're the same age in comics. They're not the same age in MCU. It's just not going to work. And then like Valkyrie. Yeah, it's just not gonna work the way it works in the comics. So I can see those two being together, and they like did the kiss on the cheek, you know, so China don't freak out. But they gotta, the MCU just needs to pull the trigger on somebody. I know that Agatha's show is supposed to have the first like openly gay character with Wanda's kid, but they need to do it with a main character.
But they did it right with Eternals, no?
Oh yes, you're right.
Fastos.
Oh, that's right.
Fastos.
Yeah.
They did.
Okay, they need a follow up though. Like,
yeah.
Don't throw Fastos to the wind because he was one of the coolest characters in that movie.
And let me say this about like the opening gay character thing. That sounded crazy. Like I was about to say something crazy. I'm not.
I got scared. I was going to take everything away, and I said back just now.
I don't like when they announce it, and the reason why is because if it just happens, you know what I mean? Like it's not made like to be a. I'm not going to say like you shouldn't celebrate this because I sure as hell celebrated Black Panther, but it's like if you make it a normal part of the story, not even necessarily a story, like you can be gay without needing a story to be gay. Like you're just gay or you're just part of the LGBTQ community. But whenever they make it like, oh, it's the first gay, it's like, well, for one, you're outing yourself because you should have been had one, and for two, it's kind of like this thing where you're making that person a target, and you don't need to make that person a target, because whenever someone like that gets celebrated, just like Black Panther got attacked because it was the first Black superhero, which it absolutely wasn't. It got targeted just because people were celebrating it, which doesn't mean that you shouldn't celebrate it, but like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like what I'm trying to say is if you don't turn minorities into a spectacle and just make them a regular part of the proceedings, things go along a lot better. Yeah.
But also, like, you know, like
Black Panther and
Shang-Chi,
they did a good job.
go ahead, sorry.
Yep.
But I was about to say, like, also, like, what?
You were saying something about Blue Beetle, right?
No, not Blue Beetle. No, I was about to say, like, but like, you know, because I've heard this word called queer baiting, because like many times like they announce you like, oh, Valkyrie's supposed to be from the LGBT community. There's not one scene that I remember that makes me believe she is, you know, or the only one, it's the Eternals, Fastos. So that's why, like, also, like, if you're going to say it, like, first of all, don't announce it. Like, you don't need, like, it's not, you know, like, it's, if you want people to really, everybody is the same. Doing that, it's like, no, she's not the same. You know, that person is from another. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So, like, okay.
Perfect example of that is Gen V, like with the the
Jordan.
bi-gender person, because I don't believe that
Yeah.
they consider them trans. I think they're like bi-gender.
Yeah,
right?
bi-gender, yeah.
They were just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it was a part of their story for sure. But I never heard of Amazon come out. Oh, we got the first gay.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, oh yeah, look at this awesome character. Like I got to know her or them rather. I'm sorry. I got to know them as a character before I got to know them by their sexuality.
Disney's been like queer baiting for a couple of years now.
Forever.
Yeah,
With
seriously.
like their animation and
Yeah.
even with Star Wars, they kind of like made a thing of like, oh, there's two people kissing, and then you find out it's the end scene and it's people in the back, and it's like
Right.
done in a way where you can cut them out for China.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
always comes down to that. Like, can you cut this scene out for China?
Right.
And
I don't
if
know
you
if that make
can,
that much
it's
difference.
not-
But
you
China's
just-
still not showing our movies, even when you cut them out.
Yeah.
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 well,
that's
they're
true.
cutting out because of the Statue of Liberty. I was just like, what the?
Yeah,
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 what
that was
it?
weird. Yeah, that was weird.
What movie was that where they cut out the statue? of
No Way
Liberty?
Home.
No Way Home, yeah.
How the hell did they do that?
I
It's
don't know.
the-
I didn't watch
it's
that
the
version.
I
It was
main-
trash.
Of the movie. It's the climax of the movie. How do you even?
Yeah,
They put the Eiffel Tower up there. But yeah,
Could you imagine?
no idea, man. No idea. But yeah, it's
It's silly, and yeah, I think writers need to get over the whole like coming out story thing. Those need to happen, but that needs not to be the start of everybody's. We
Right.
need characters that
Yeah.
just come in. I'm gay. I'm comfortable,
yeah,
and
They did
just
it-
because I'm gay doesn't mean I'm not a great superhero.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
I just
Like I mean, like if your character development is like you know, because they say, oh, we have my character is gay. I'm like, but gay is not a personality. You know, it's not a character
Mhm.
development. It's like the same way being Latino black. Okay, he's Latino, fine, but you know, like I need to know more about him. Like
yeah,
I need a character development. Being Latino is not a character development.
yeah,
You know,
Mhm.
that's where I'm like, don't limit yourself just to that.
yeah.
I think James Gunn has the biggest chance to do it because he's doing oh my god, why I forgetting the name.
Hawkgirl?
Midnighter. He's doing Midnighter and
Oh, right.
and his boyfriend.
Mhm.
Shit, I forgot. They're very openly gay, but they're like the grittiest, the most like beat your ass, foul
Mhm.
mouth, masculine people ever. They just happen to be
okay.
gay, and I think if he does that, where they're like these cool like they're like a grittier Batman and Superman that love each other. If he positions
okay.
it that way,
hmm
I think that he can win some people over,
Yep.
and a lot of
Yeah,
people
let's see.
are gonna give James Gunn grace.
Mhm.
You know.
Hey T, what's up?
And I think he absolutely will do that. I don't think he. Yeah, I would be disappointed if he kind of shortchanged them in that way, or the key part of their story. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Awesome.
like just be like no Clark and Lois.
All right. Be weird.
Well, Zach, do you have anything else on this movie you want to touch on that you wanted to get
We're
out?
doing spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw y'all talking about Young Avengers. So hyped.
Yes.
Young Avengers. I've been waiting for this forever. I just gotta say, please get some guys in there. I see there's a lot of girls, and not because of me personally. I just don't want to hear the discourse online. I already don't want to talk about this
I
movie.
just
That's the thing,
I already don't want to talk to people
Yeah.
because of the negative discourse. I
Yeah.
want to talk about Young Avengers. I'm so excited for
Mhm.
whether it's Young Avengers or Champions. I don't know what name they're gonna go with.
Oh, Champions would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Nova. I would love to see Nova.
We got to get Miles,
Mhm.
Nova, and Kamala. That's
Yep.
that's the trio. That's the new Marvel trio.
Yeah.
You know,
Miles would be
Yeah.
the hardest one to get.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Kate Bishop.
he's there though. They
He could-
mentioned
should
him.
be.
He's around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
also,
talked
I
about
know
some of
that
the
there's
characters.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, yeah, Zach, we talked about some of the characters that we know could be coming into the Young
Mhm.
Avengers, whether it be Isaiah Bradley,
Mhm.
the kid. Scar was introduced at the end of She-Hulk. Nobody's
Scar,
excited for that, it sounds like. And then possibly
Hopefully-
Wiccan and Speed.
And Speed.
Those are the
Oh,
only
probably
four
his-
guys.
and probably Wiccan's boyfriend Hulking will probably be a
Yeah.
part of it. And
You see, like I would rather have Hulkling than Scar, you know, or Amadeus Cho. I don't know. I feel like Hulkling, yeah, in the comics had more character development than Scar. Well, at least this version of Scar doesn't, because I think if I'm correct, in the comics, I think Scar was from the planet of the Grand Master or something, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's where he conceived him.
hey,
Yeah.
What about
Champions,
Vision's
man.
daughter?
Oh, we supposed to get Viv from Vision Quest, the show, so we can get. Viv
I heard
there
that's
too.
canceled though. I heard that's canceled probably. I don't know.
There's no official
Yeah, I know,
word,
I
so
know.
I'm just gonna.
They
assume
never
that it's still
officially
happening.
announced it either, though, did they?
Yeah,
Marvel
Yeah, no,
never
they
actually
never-
put out a report saying it was coming out.
yeah. So it's
Oh.
super rumor.
Yeah.
Can we get Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur up in there?
Look,
Moon Girl,
I can
that'd be
see
cool.
it happen.
There's actually a
They have a
show
TV
about that,
show.
right?
They have
Yeah,
an
they have
animated
a
show.
Still have not seen that show.
You know,
And
actually,
I heard people like it.
there's actually, I think, Maria Hill, I think, poor Maria Hill, but actually, I think she is in that show. Oh, poor Maria Hill.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can't believe they killed her off in that trash show. But
Seriously,
Young
man.
Avengers is
yeah.
gonna be great. And then the second one is what's the X-Men?
Yeah,
Oh my god. Finally.
yeah.
We're getting
Yep.
there. And that wasn't even the hypest part of the after credit scene. Is the fact that I was more invested in Monica seeing her mom.
Oh, that was
binary.
great.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they pulled that scene off really, really well.
Mhm.
Maria's confusion, like, what are you talking about? No, you're not my
Right.
daughter. I don't got no kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the same age as you. What are you talking about?
I would like legit. I was just hyped, like you said, to see like Maria Rambo and then have that confusion, and then Beast walks across the scene and I nearly died. So it was like,
And then they did the pivot to the X door. I'm like, okay, y'all trying to make me like
Right.
have a geek-gasm in this damn place.
yeah. And I know some people are like, "Is this the 838 universe?" It's not, because Charles is still
No.
alive.
Yeah, it's still alive, yeah.
So
Yeah, and also her mom's still alive. She was
Right.
she was Captain Marvel. She wasn't binary, and she died. Scarlet
Yeah.
Witch killed her.
Right.
I don't
She's
even
fine.
think that it's the Fox X-Men universe, to be honest with you. It might be. I might be proven wrong in that, but isn't Charles all kinds of dead? No, he came back in X3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but-
came
No,
back
he died
in Apocalypse.
Yeah.
There was an
He came
after
back
credit,
in-
I think, in X3, wasn't there? Or
Yeah,
was
he
it
came
in-
back in that was dumb.
with
Well, he
it's
revived
like
himself
a-
in somebody else's body.
Yeah, I
was it
didn't
even
understand
brother or
that, yeah.
something? There
Patrick
was
Stewart.
a
Yeah.
Because I know we see Charles in the credit scene of what's the one with the Wolverine in Japan?
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
the
Wolverine,
Which is a
yeah.
movie I enjoyed until the
Yeah, it's
last scene until the last fight, because that last
Yeah.
fight was like, did he just cut off his metal claws and the bones popped out? So you mean the bones were behind the metal claws, like, because the claws are flat, so obviously they weren't encasing the bone. So it was the bone behind. I'm sorry, I know I'm being like super.
No, but that's not even how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
was
whole
really
anime
like, what?
is encasing the whole boat. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard about that. Ooh, somebody said Squirrel Girl. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and read a couple of these real quick. We're gonna have to get going here pretty quick, but
Okay.
I gotta get to bed soon.
I was so
but-
sad that they canceled the squirrel. And you know, we even saw now
The
the
New
pictures
Warriors?
of the behind the scenes. Yeah, the Squirrel Girl. I'm like, damn, it would have been cool.
Apparently, I'm gonna cover up Zach's face here. Have you seen that with the T? This hey gentlemen,
what's
thanks for
up,
joining
man?
the stream. It says the Marvels was great. Hollywood hate women who are who aren't overly sexualized.
Yep.
They love them some Black
It says
Widow and
my 2
tight
cents,
clothes.
and then Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl
Squirrel
would be
Girl would be
great.
cool. Yeah.
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 I'm also worried about that because she's kind of a goofy character. And I'm like, oh my god, more goofiness. I'm like, oh my God.
No. Give me every section give me every part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Me too.
I'm good with that.
Everyone. Yeah.
I want fun. I want gritty.
Yo, give me the Avengers pets. Have you guys seen those? Those are great.
No, but I know Deadpool 3 will have a pet.
Yeah.
So,
Again,
okay.
Oh,
dog.
actually,
One more
Deadpool
big topic I want to hit here,
Mhm.
since you bring up Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
We talked about the one MCU movie coming out next year is Deadpool 3. It's the only
Mhm.
one coming next year, and then we get to kind of start fresh again after next year with Marvel and DC both, really.
Yeah.
Do we think Deadpool 3 is going to be a critic and audience positivity or positive reception? Is the word I'm looking for.
If I were to
We think
guess,
Deadpool 3 is going to hit good.
if I were to guess, I would say yes. I think that Deadpool is going to revitalize a lot of people because people like just Deadpool in general. If you never put the MCU, Marvel, or any of the other X-Men anywhere near Deadpool, people will still want to see Deadpool. So I think that just by him being there, it's going to draw a large crowd, or maybe not a large crowd, but a significantly better crowd than maybe the Marvels did, and maybe what was the other movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and most other superheroes movies did. So yeah, I think it'll do well, and the fact that Ryan Reynolds seems to be in charge of it, even though he's under Feige's purview, but Feige's kind of like, I mean, you've been successful twice, go do it again. You know what I mean? So
okay. Yeah,
I agree.
He says Deadpool will change the trajectory.
I agree with T. Yeah, I agree with T.
I'm cautiously optimistic about that film. I think at the beginning of Phase 4, I was like, this is $1 billion, knock it out of the park. This is easy. But now that I'm seeing the momentum that the MCU is going through and the goodwill that they have to go through, I think a lot of these same fans are going to be like, oh, no, Disney's doing Deadpool.
Okay.
I'm not checking it out. Especially if Taylor Swift is Dazzler. Holy crap, people will boycott the movie just because of that.
I think that's going to bring people
make
in.
more money because
Why?
I do too.
Wait, yeah, I mean, me too. Why? Why would they boycott?
I don't know if
people
are
will
crossed over with MCU.
Yeah, I think you're getting non-MCU people coming into it more than what you'll have people leave.
Look at what the Taylor Swift concert movie did.
Yeah.
If Taylor Swift is in this movie, the boycotters will be replaced by the Swifties, and the Swifties seem to have a lot of money.
Yeah,
A lot of money.
The Swifties are repeat viewers too, so they.
I'm an MCU fan and a Swiftie. This would be great.
Right. The Travis.
I mean, like I know, like some. I mean, like I know some people went for the Eternals just for Harry Styles, like because they knew already he was going to be in the credits, and so at least from my surroundings, I know some girls specifically, like they told me, hey, I want to see Harry Styles, which they didn't know he was in the credits scene only, so they were like, I had to watch this whole movie just for Harry. So yeah, I don't like. I'm not gonna say like this is a for sure $1 billion because like I will admit that with the Marvel, especially right now, also we had Ant-Man. Like this year wasn't the best year of Marvel, and it's kind of crazy to say that because Guardians of the Galaxy was fantastic. So we have some hit and miss. For people who say
Guardians
Marvel
only 150 million away. It got
exactly.
close.
That's for people who think Marvel only throws trash. So. I mean, the fun part with Deadpool, it's first of all, it's R-rated. It's also Ryan Reynolds really producing a lot of this movie. I don't think Kevin Feige is that involved in the movie. I mean, of course, he has something to do with it, but I feel like they really, the team of Deadpool, they're really doing this like on their own. So maybe that will bring people to the movie theater. They will say, oh, yeah, this is, it is in the MCU, but it's not MCU influenced compared to the Marvels. The Marvels, like, they don't have nothing to do. It's full MCU that's taking over the Marvels compared to Deadpool. So, and also like now we have this breather. There's only one movie of MCU in
we got like 8 months between now and then. I mean,
so probably
in one show.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's what I was to say. So that will also maybe tell people, like, make people go to the movie theater to see Deadpool. Because it's only one movie that's coming.
One thing we didn't mention: Hugh Jackman's in it.
Yeah,
I think that's a huge draw.
And
I
know
the entire Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman Twitter stuff, that's.
And this might be less of a draw, but the curiosity of Elektra being in this movie will
and
also
and all the possible cameos that we could have. So.
I didn't like it either, but it's kind of like, they're bringing in people from there too.
Yeah, so I heard some of the X-Men probably will be there. So yeah.
The X-Men,
and if the TVA is there, I think that it's not as much as a draw, but people love the Loki series. Yeah, and I think the fact that
if
they're the antagonist,
oh my god, Obi.
Yeah,
I just think this movie has a lot of potential, and I think if they strike on that, if the movie performs well, and if it's received very well, I think that's a very positive thing for the MCU going forward because we're looking at another 8-9 months after that movie before the next one, right? Because it's February of the next year.
Cap 4.
Cap 4, Thunderbolts, Blade.
Blade,
That's it. There's a lot of 2025 superhero movies. We're going from nothing to overload.
But what do we do if Deadpool fails? Like, what do we do if people don't like it?
That's we can do. They got to figure that out.
No, but I mean, okay, what do we say? Like, okay, what like, is there a right side of it?
It's a good movie. Yeah.
It just depends because at the end of the day, it just depends on what are you enjoying personally. Like personally, I'm not on the downside. The only projects in this phase that bothered me was Thor: Love and Thunder, Quantumania, and Secret Invasion. Everything else I've been jiving with. Either I liked it, loved it, or thought it was great.
Yeah, there's only one thing I outright hated in this, and it was Secret Invasion.
Yeah, so
I'm with you on that. I agree with you.
Me, it's Secret Invasion and Thor for sure.
Oh yeah, Thor.
I actually really like Thor. I'm the only one. But
I don't
I'm
hate it.
I'm that guy.
I just was like, I knew what I was getting because of Ragnarok, but I love both those storylines, and there could have been like epic world changing stuff, and they would turn into jokes. So it's kind of more disappointed in the movie than.
I just love that movie as a comedy, going in and just laughing. Like, and I laugh. Those jokes work for me personally. So that's why the movie worked for me. It's just the jokes get me.
Jason,
for me, it bothered.
You asked me earlier if I would watch, if I enjoyed Eternals more than the Marvels. I told you absolutely not. You know what I didn't enjoy more than the Eternals? Thor: Love and Thunder. I would rather watch the Eternals.
Okay, at least that's a station.
Than ever watch. No, I'm sorry. I would rather watch the Eternals 4 more times than ever watch Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay, we did something good, DJ. Yeah. Something.
Damn. It's number 33.
Yeah, that's
it's. You mean 31? No, 31.
We didn't change
32 movies. 32 movies.
No, we're at 33 now.
Really? I thought the Marvels officially puts 32 MCU movies. I don't know. Maybe I'm
wrong. Number of movies in one franchise.
Yeah, 32. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
even though it's not the same characters over and over.
I just think that Russell Crowe's Zeus was fantastic. I had so much fun with this character.
Who?
Oh God,
Russell Crowe's Zeus.
No, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
I loved him so much.
I did not like Zeus at all.
And that deleted scene, I hate that they left out that deleted scene with Zeus because I thought that was so good. Like seeing him explain the Thunderbolt stuff to Thor and how to use it and stuff. Like that was a great deleted scene that should have been in that movie to go into the end of that with Thor using the Thunderbolt the way he did.
I wonder if they're ever going to actually follow up on that Hercules thing.
I
would love to see that because the guy from Ted Lasso is good. I would love to see him.
He's great. He's really good.
Yeah, man.
I got his Funko Pop. I got that Hercules Funko Pop from Thor: Love and Thunder.
Nice.
I can see a lot of these things where like, oh, is it going to follow up? I think I could see Secret Wars just bringing them in, and it's going to be a lot of more tying in all this different stuff through Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars than we expect. Like it's going to be a more personal story.
We're starting to see some come together of some of these things finally.
Yeah, now. Like I was glad to see Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye. I would. Kevin Feige mentioned that we're going to see Arrows soon. Apparently, I don't know if that's true. Though. I mean, they asked him. He can't say no. He's not coming back anymore. Yeah. Like, but he
saw Loki reference Quantumania. I mean,
we saw Loki, Valkyrie. Yeah.
The stuff has been happening. She-Hulk reference Eternals. Like it's been happening. It's just no Avengers movie. That's all it is.
I wonder where She-Hulk will pop out next. That's what I wonder.
That's a good question.
I heard it's going to be Cat 4 or Cat.
Oh, okay.
Brave New. I don't know what's called now. Brave New World, something like that.
I hope she looks better in the next one. The next time she shows up.
I mean, they got the time to do it now.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. They are in control of their own product. They've always had the time. They do this to themselves. So anyway, I'm going to get off that soapbox. But yeah.
All right, guys. If you don't care, I need to run through these comments, and I'm going to have to get to bed because I got to get up.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's midnight for me here.
I got 5 hours before I got to go to work. So,
cool.
Cal Daly, just stopping to say what's up to you, gentlemen. Have a good stream. I haven't seen the film, so avoiding spoilers.
All right.
Thanks for joining.
What's up, man?
Have you seen that with a T? No, they won't. If Taylor Swift is in the movie, it will make $1 billion.
That I'm not sure. That I'm not sure, but yeah, it will definitely make some money. Yeah.
Cal Daly, boycott Zach with that take. LLJK.
Nah, he's coming for me.
He got it out for you. Yeah.
All the time.
You seen that? Sorry, I popped in so late. Hey, no problem.
Yo, I misread that. I read something else. I'm like, what? I'm getting tired. I'm like, what the hell is going on with it?
Oh, Jason's getting the stream loops.
No, I'm getting tired.
We start getting loopy.
I'm like,
I know that.
Yeah.
I just
All
jumped
right.
from one stream to this stream, so let me stop before I
Oh
get.
no, did I miss Katie's
So-
stream?
No, she
Oh,
didn't do it.
She didn't do it.
I
When
forgot
in the
about it
group
too.
chat, I saw that she didn't do it because a lot of people were saying they couldn't join, so I think she pushed it to next weekend.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
that sucks, man.
I know Luke had a watch along
Mm.
for Glass Onion.
Well,
I would've loved to do
Ken,
that.
you and Jason already got to shout out your channels.
Yep.
Zach, you want to go ahead and shout out your channel real quick? Tell everybody where they can
Let's wrap
find
this
you.
up. Yeah, so Zach Attack Reviews. You can check out my channel for movie news now because I have a new weekly live news show on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. called Zach Attack News. I'm going to be talking about the writer's strike and some other things depending on what comes out. I have a bunch of trailer reactions out now and coming. I have a review for the Marvels on my channel, and I have a review for the movie called The Killer that's on Netflix coming soon as well. Yeah, just check me out, man.
All right. And
Ooh.
I think we've got everybody there. Guys, right now, Jason's, again, his link is in the description, and I will add Kitty's and Zach's to it so you guys can find their channels there. Go and check out their channel first. Watch a couple videos. If you like them, subscribe to them because you're going to enjoy everything else going forward if you do that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to quote it like that because don't just sub to somebody because someone tells you to sub. Check out their stuff first. It's great. All right.
Okay.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you guys in the chat. A lot of great comments tonight. Thanks for keeping everything civil, everybody. And it was a lot of fun. So enjoyed that. And we'll see all you guys next time on Movie Time Minute.
All right.